Chapter 750. Small courtyard in the mountain, one in the forest. The system's voice slowly sounded in Xiao Changshan's mind. Ding dong. Congratulations on drawing a pheasant. Please check. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for drawing a turtle. Please check. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for drawing a small carp. Please check. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for drawing a white cat. Please check. The system's voice echoed in Xiao Changshan's ears. Black lines appeared on Xiao Changshan's face one after another. In his previous life, he had seen how unreliable the system's 10 consecutive draws were. He did not expect it to be so unreliable. Look at what he was smoking. It was poultry again. The system wouldn't let him feed them after that, right? The system's wheel was still spinning. Ding dong. The host has drawn a thatched cottage. Please check. Ding dong. The host has drawn a fence. Please check it. 2 IIAs expected. The system's 6 consecutive draws were also dispensable. System, this is the 10 consecutive draws. Xiao Changtian complained to the system in his mind. Ding dong. The chances of winning the lottery are random. You can't blame the system for your bad luck. If the host is not satisfied, I can remove the small for you. Don't. The system knew that he needed the spatial coordinates, so it would use the mall to suppress him. Xiao Changtian sighed in his heart. Forget it. It was just going back to before the release. What was the big deal? Ding dong. Host, please pay attention to the system's third compensation. Xiao Changtian heard the system's words and casually opened his backpack. He casually clicked on the compensation gift bag inside. Ding dong. The host has obtained Turtle Breath Concealment Technique. Turtle Breath Concealment Technique. After using it, no one will be able to sense the aura of the host. Turtle Breath Concealment Technique? As soon as the system finished speaking, a piece of parchment appeared in Xiao Changshan's hand. Xiao Changtian opened the parchment, and the words on it turned into golden light and entered his head. As soon as the words entered his brain, Xiao Changtian felt a burst of pain in his head. He covered his head with both hands. After a while, Xiao Changtian exhaled. Among these few compensation, only this turtle breath concealment technique was somewhat useful. Now, no matter who it was, they probably looked like mortals. This was also good. The invincible path that the system had previously opened for him. He did not know where the bug was. With the turtle breath concealment technique, he could be the same as before. He would hide in this small forest to earn money in exchange for crystals. When the time came, he would meet up with his disciple and talk about the rest. As if it knew what Xiao Changtian was thinking, the system reminded him, ding dong. Host, if you want to increase your strength, you can buy cultivation points from the mall. When he heard the system's words, he also saw his cultivation written on the system panel. 1,000 points. In other words, his current cultivation was equivalent to the 1,000 level outside. In the system's shopping mall, there happened to be a service for adding points to one's cultivation. Every 10 crystals could add 1 cultivation point. The system had also left a way out for him. If he really encountered someone he could not deal with, he would not be able to do so. He could also add points to his cultivation. He just didn't know what level the people outside were. Ding dong. If the host wants to know the cultivation level of others, you can use the new function of the system. Testing talent. As long as the host calls for the system can test it for the host. Testing other people's talent? Xiao Changtian checked the system interface and found that there were 4 words written on his talent. Unable to detect. Puff. Xiao Changtian understood what the system meant. It was probably to take care of his feelings. After all, he had tested it in Downtown. He was simply a good-for-nothing and had no way to cultivate. Even if he opened the path of invincibility, there was still no way to change his talent. Forget it. After the system had the ability to detect talent, he would have more protection when he went out in the future. However, the most important thing now is to arrange a place for myself to stay. Xiao Changtian raised his head and looked at the sky. The sun was giving off its last rays of light. Squeak, squeak, squeak. At this moment, the little demonic beast cub in Xiao Changshan's arms also let out a howl. Little fellow, you must be hungry. Xiao Changtian stroked the little cub in his arms. As Xiao Changtian stroked it, the little cub slowly calmed down. System: extract thatched cottage, fence. Xiao Changtian took out all the miscellaneous items that he had just obtained from the system. Detected host's needs. Please specify a location. Xiao Changtian looked around and smiled. He held his sword. He flew into the sky and injected his true essence into the long sword in his hand. One sword devouring 10,000 miles. Xiao Changtian shouted loudly and gathered all his vital essence into the sword. A dazzling sword ray flew out from the tip of the long sword. In an instant, the surrounding area was destroyed into flat ground. Let's do it here. Xiao Changtian looked at his masterpiece with a satisfied expression on his face. Then he pointed at the empty space in front of him. He said slowly to the system, "Whoosh." Then, a simple courtyard slowly appeared in the forest. Seeing this somewhat familiar courtyard, Xiao Changtian slowly walked in with his little cub. Wasn't this what his courtyard looked like before he renovated it? At the same time, outside the forest, two figures were resting under a big tree in a sorry state. Judging from their filthy clothes, they must have suffered a lot of setbacks here. Senior brother, is there really a Qilin auspicious beast in this desolate forbidden area? Under the big tree, a cute little girl looked at a resolute man beside her and said slowly to him. Looking at the little girl, a rare smile appeared on the resolute man's face. He took out a water bottle from his interspatial ring and handed it to the little girl. He said gently to her, "Lorraine, this news was obtained by Master after exhausting his entire life's cultivation. It can't be wrong. After we find the Qilin auspicious beast, our Imperial Beast Peak will be able to return to its position as the #1 peak of the sect." As he spoke, the man's eyes revealed a hint of determination. After the little girl finished drinking the water, she wiped the corner of her mouth with her sleeve and said to the man, "Senior apprentice brother White Beast, let's go in and look for it. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 751, Starry Sky Sect 1, Outside the Desolate Forbidden Area. When the white beast heard the little girl's words, it shook its head at her. "Lorraine, this desolate forbidden land has always been the #1 forbidden land in the Jade Lake Sacred World. You are the future hope of our Imperial Beast Peak. You wait here. Senior brother can go in. Moreover, if anything happens to you, how am I going to explain it to Master?" Lorraine was the daughter of the Peak Master of the Beast Taming Peak in the Stellar Sect. She was also the current saint of the Beast Taming Peak. The Starry Sky Sect's 100-year competition was about to begin. That was if their Beast Tamer sect was not defeated by the other reserve peaks. Then they would lose the qualifications to be a main peak and become vassals of the other main peaks. This was absolutely unacceptable to Beast Taming Peak. After all, they were once the first main peak of the Starry Sky Sect, and Lorraine was seen as the future of the current Beast Tamer Peak. If anything were to happen to her, the White Beast felt that it would not be able to explain itself even if it went back. Lorraine's little head shook when she heard the White Beast's words. "Senior brother, have you forgotten what Master told us before we left? We have to support each other. Are you going to leave me here alone now?" At this point, Lorraine had already taken the lead and walked towards the desolate forbidden land. "Senior brother, come quickly. If anything happens to you inside, no one will be able to deal with that fellow from the 10,000 Sword Peak." Seeing the sweet smile on Lorraine's face, the White Beast hesitated for a moment. "Junior sister, all right then. However, in this desolate forbidden area, demonic beasts run amok. You have to follow me closely." "I know, senior brother," Lorraine said to him again when she saw the White Beast's unconcerned look. Following that, the White Beast led Lorraine slowly towards the desolate forbidden area, according to the information given by the Beast Tamer Peak's Peak Master. This desolate forbidden land was the #1 forbidden land in the entire Jade Lake Sacred World. Moreover, his #1 forbidden area was not groundless, because almost no one who entered it came out again. Rumor had it that the cultivation of the demon beasts here was at least at the sacred sovereign realm or above. In the Starry Sky sect, he could even be the peak master of a main peak. After all, in the myriad worlds, from the lowest level of saints, saint masters, great saint masters, to saint venerables, saint sects, saint kings and saint emperors, if one's strength reached the sacred sovereign realm, they would definitely be able to dominate a place. However, the sacred sovereign was only the lowest level existence here. One could imagine how dangerous this place was. The reason why the white beast dared to come here was because it was determined to give it a go. He was only a sage master, so it was impossible for him to enter this place with his strength. After they entered this place, the only way out was to follow the information given to them by the beast-taming peak's peak master. He found the Qilin auspicious beast that was born in the desolate forbidden land. The Qilin was an auspicious beast. Any demonic beast that had a holy light on it would be much luckier. Whether it was the speed of cultivation or the breakthrough of the tribulation, it would be much smoother. After finding the Qilin auspicious beast, they would be able to use his talent to leave this place. Junior sister, be careful and follow me closely, the white beast said to Lorraine behind him. Its eyes were carefully staring at its surroundings, afraid that it would miss something. At the same time, in the Starry Sky sect, in the main hall of a mountain surrounded by immortal mist, a flirtatious man sat on the head seat. In the main hall, a group of singing girls were singing and dancing. Their movements made the people in the room think. At this moment, the flirtatious man pointed at a singer below. Then, the singer slowly walked to the coquettish man's side and was pulled into his arms. After swimming up and down on the singer's body, an old servant walked in from outside. She came to the side of the coquettish man and slowly said to him, "Young master, I've already investigated. After the people from the Imperial Beast Peak left the sect, they've already headed in the direction of the desolate forbidden area." Desolate forbidden area? When the flirtatious man heard the old servant, he also picked up a wine glass on the table and took a sip. In the sect's 100-year competition this time, I must get rid of the Imperial Beast Peak's seat. Elder Yang, it'll have to trouble you to go over in case anything unexpected happens. After the old servant called Old Yang heard the flirtatious man's words, he also said to him, "Young lord, there has always been no exit from the forbidden grounds. If the people from Imperial Beast Peak went there to search for opportunities, wouldn't they be courting death?" Bang! After the old servant finished speaking, the coquettish man smashed the wine cup in his hand on the ground. "Don't I know what you know? Just do it yourself." "All right, young lord." Old Master Yang saw that the coquettish man was angry and quickly said to him. Then, he walked out of the hall without any hesitation. "Jump, why aren't you continuing?" At this moment, the flirtatious man looked at the singer in front of him with a face full of anger. After the flirtatious man finished speaking, the singers in the hall started singing and dancing again. No one knew what this flirtatious man was thinking. The people in the Starry Sky sect had the impression that the flirtatious man was a little perverted and cruel. However, he had a good father who sat on the position of the holy son of the Thousand Swords Peak. Even though he had harmed many girls in the Starry Sky sect, he still had to give face to his father. No one in the sect would say anything. If the Imperial Beast Peak was defeated in the sect's 100-year competition this time, then the 10,000 Swords Peak would be able to obtain more resources, and its status in the Starry Sky sect would also rise. The flirtatious man continued to enjoy himself in the hall. "As long as our 10,000 Swords Peak remains the #1 peak in the Starry Sky sect, not only will father have an advantage in terms of the sect master's qualifications, more importantly, the saintesses of the other peaks will all be mine. Especially that little girl from the Imperial Beast Peak. After she was defeated, she looked like she wanted to come and beg me." What a wonderful scene, the flirtatious man slowly said to the singing girl beside him. "Don't you think so, baby?" Seeing the bewitching man smile, the singer was also a little frightened, but she did not dare to show it on her face. She slowly said to the coquettish man, "Yes, everything young Master Qin says is right. You're so sweet." While the flirtatious man and the singer were playing in the hall, Xiao Changtian was also roasting lion legs in the small courtyard in the forest. Beside him, The little Qilin cub widened its large round eyes. Little guy, you must be hungry. Come take it and eat. Xiao Changtian said slowly to the auspicious beast Qilin, while putting the lion's leg in front of him. At this time, a rustling sound came from outside the courtyard. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 752. Eating the Flaming Lion Meat. 1 Jade Pool Sacred World, Desolate Forbidden Ground. The white beast and Lorraine were groping their way through the forbidden area. At this moment, Lorraine said to the white beast beside her, "Senior brother, look, there's a courtyard in front." Courtyard? Lorraine, are you hallucinating? There really is a courtyard. Before the white beast could finish speaking, they saw a courtyard in front of them. This was unbelievable to him. This desolate forbidden area was known as the forbidden area for humans. How could there be anyone living here? Wow, senior brother, it smells so good. At this moment, Lorraine took a few deep breaths and continued to speak to the white beast. They had been on the way for the past few days, so they were now the most sensitive to the smell of food. When the white beast saw Lorraine, it also smelled the fragrance in the air. This smell was so fragrant. The white beast couldn't help but swallow a few mouthfuls of saliva. "Senior brother, let's go take a look," Lorraine said to the white beast. "If someone lives here, we can ask him for help." Junior sister. Seeing that they were already walking towards the courtyard, the white beast hesitated. Lorraine lived in Beast Peak all year round and rarely had any contact with the outside world. Her mind was not much different from a child's. Even if there were people living in this forbidden area, they had to be careful. Then, the white beast quickly followed behind Lorraine. The two of them tiptoed to the outer perimeter of Xiao Changshan's courtyard and lay on the fence. They could also see that in the courtyard, the Qilin auspicious beast was using its small mouth to bite the flaming lion's thigh. Beside the fire, Xiao Changtian was also holding a lion's leg in his hand and chewing on it. "Senior brother, look, isn't that the Qilin auspicious beast we're looking for?" Lorraine looked at the Qilin auspicious beast in the courtyard and said to the white beast beside her. Perhaps because she was too excited, Lorraine also dropped the stone on the fence. Bang! Xiao Changtian turned his gaze to the outside of the courtyard as the stone fell. "Since you're here, come in." When the white beast and Lorraine approached his courtyard, Xiao Changtian had already sensed their presence. After seeing that they had no ill intentions, he said to them. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Lorraine slowly walked towards the gate of the courtyard. Then, the two of them walked into the courtyard. The white beast looked at Xiao Changtian in front of it and was panicking. He had seen the food in Xiao Changshan's and Qilin's mouths when he was outside the fence. Wasn't this the flaming lion that their imperial beast Peak had introduced? It was said that the lion cubs were born with the strength of a great saint master. An adult flaming lion had even reached the peak of the sacred sovereign realm. But now, the flaming lion that they revered had become food for Xiao Changtian. To them, this was something that they didn't know how to explain. For a moment, the white beast and Luo Lan looked at Xiao Changtian, not knowing what to say. Gulp. At this moment, a sound came from Lorraine's stomach. As the voice rang out, Lorraine blushed. Xiao Changtian heard this voice, and also pulled a piece of roasted meat from the grill in front of him. He handed it to Lorraine and said slowly to her, "This is freshly roasted meat. Take it and eat it." When Luo Lan and the white beast came in, Xiao Changtian had also scanned his body. His entire body was dirty, and there were a few holes in his clothes. It was obvious that the poor people in the mountains wanted to hunt in the mountains for food. She happened to find her, and was attracted by the fragrance in the courtyard. Lorraine looked at the roasted meat that Xiao Changtian handed over, and her face was filled with joy. Junior sister, no. Seeing that Lorraine was about to eat the flaming lion meat, the white beast quickly went to stop her. The meat of the flaming lion was extremely precious, and it contained a great ability. With Junior sister's physique, if she ate it, she would definitely explode and die. Hearing the white beast's words, Xiao Changtian raised his head and looked at him. Under Xiao Changshan's gaze, the white beast subconsciously shut its mouth. Lorraine also said to him slowly, "Senior brother, why is this meat so delicious?" I haven't eaten such delicious meat in a long time, Lorraine said to the white beast with a satisfied expression. Seeing Lorraine's happy expression, the white beast was a little stunned. Why did junior sister look completely fine when she ate? Then, Xiao Changtian handed a piece of lion meat to the white beast and said slowly, "Eat it while it's hot. Don't starve yourself." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the white beast raised its head and saw Xiao Changshan smile. When he saw the powder on the lion meat, he seemed to understand what was going on. It was this powder that calmed the energy of the flaming lion meat. Junior sister would not have any problems after eating it. This powder must have belonged to this senior as well. Looking at the lion meat, the white beast said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, this is too precious." The white beast looked like it was going to be a little awkward. Xiao Changtian also said to it, "Eat, it's my treat. It's free. It's not good to starve." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the white beast also took the lion meat from Xiao Changshan's hand and started to chew on it. Seeing the white beast, Xiao Changtian smiled. Soon Xiao Changtian and the white beast were full. At this moment, the little Kailan was running in Xiao Changshan's arms. Seeing the Qilin auspicious beast in Xiao Changshan's arms, the white beast and Lorraine looked at each other. Then, Xiao Changtian said to them slowly, "Since you're here, there must be someone waiting for you at home." After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the white beast and Lorraine nodded at him. They had just taken a closer look. The Qilin auspicious beast in Xiao Changshan's arms was what they wanted. However, he didn't know what to say. He didn't expect Xiao Changtian to say it directly. Since Xiao Changtian knew their purpose, it would depend on his attitude now. After all, this person was able to stay in the desolate forbidden land, and even treat the flaming lion as food. If they wanted to snatch the Qilin auspicious beast from him, the success rate was almost zero. No, it should be zero. At this moment, all they could do was wait for Xiao Changshan's reaction. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 753, Pheasant? Phoenix. One-Eye Jade Pool Sacred World, Desolate Forbidden Ground. Xiao Changtian looked at the white beast and Lorraine standing in front of him. He slowly got up and walked towards the back of the courtyard. After a while, the white beast and Lorraine saw Xiao Changtian walking towards them with a pheasant in his hand. "Coo coo coo. You little wild chicken. If you continue to scream, I'll kill you now." Xiao Changtian shouted at him, while holding the pheasant given to him by the system. The pheasant seemed to understand human nature. After hearing Xiao Changshan's words, it also obediently shut its mouth. Then, Xiao Changtian handed the pheasant to the white beast and Lorraine. "You can take this pheasant back for emergencies. One don't have much here." When he saw them, Xiao Changtian already had a guess in his heart. The siblings didn't look very old. They would be out hunting in the mountains at this time. She would definitely call him back for dinner. But the boy looked like he couldn't bear to eat lion meat just now. Someone at home was probably waiting for them to return from hunting. Judging from their clothes, they should also be poor people in the mountains. He didn't have anything much to say, so he just took the pheasant given by the system and gave it to them to eat. Anyway, he planned to slaughter and eat the little pheasant given by the system one day. Moreover, who didn't have a time when they were hungry and cold? He would help them at this time. It could also be considered as accumulating merit for himself. The white beast and Luolan saw the pheasant that Xiao Changtian handed over and took it from his hands. Lorraine's body shook, and then a wave of spiritual power rolled in her body. The spiritual energy in his body increased by several times, and in a short while he reached the level of a saint master. It was on the same level as the white beast. What was strange was that Lorraine felt the spiritual energy in her body turn fiery red. It was as if something had awakened. Standing beside Lorraine, the white beast naturally sensed the changes in Lorraine's body. He stared blankly at Lorraine beside him, feeling the changes in her body. His eyes were filled with disbelief. His head spun rapidly. His junior sister was a saint just now. This change happened after receiving the pheasant from senior. Wait, pheasant? At this moment, the white beast carefully observed the pheasant in Lorraine's hand, and its body almost fell to the ground. In his field of vision, A phoenix covered in flames soared in the air. A pair of phoenix eyes stared at him coldly. The white beast could feel the spiritual energy in its body, burning up as the phoenix stared at it. The white beast quickly averted its gaze. He would definitely turn into a pile of ashes. Then the white beast said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, this is too valuable. We can't accept it." The phoenix in front of him was obviously a divine beast raised by Senior. The value of an adult phoenix divine beast was definitely not something that a Qilin cub could match. After all, in the process of the growth of a divine beast, who knew how many resources were consumed? Besides, Xiao Changtian was the one who found the baby Qilin first. They didn't have the right to ask him for it. Xiao Changtian saw the white beast sitting on the pheasant for a while. Then he wanted to decline. He sighed in his heart. This child's nature was really pure. He was about to starve, but he did not think of whoring his pheasant for free. Such a character was rare. If it were anyone else, they would probably fight to bring this pheasant back and roast it. Thinking of this, Xiao Changtian waved his hand at the white beast. "It's fine. It's just a pheasant. You can take it back and eat it. Anyway, I plan to kill it and eat it one day." Slaughter and eat. Seeing Xiao Changshan's nonchalant expression, the white beast and Lorraine were secretly shocked. "Senior, you actually want to eat phoenixes as food? It seems that we have been too narrow-minded." Then, thinking of the current predicament of the Imperial Beast Peak, the white beast said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, Before the white beast could finish, Xiao Changtian continued, "Since you don't want to pay for it, you can use it as an exchange." Xiao Changtian didn't even need to think to know what this child wanted to say. It must be something like, "I didn't get anything for nothing." The people in the mountains were pure and innocent. But since she knew, she couldn't let them starve. After all, people were made of iron, and food was made of steel. He would just casually ask them for something. When the white beast heard Xiao Changshan's words, he was stunned. He wanted to tell Xiao Changtian that it was better to accept his request. After Xiao Changtian said this, he was somewhat troubled. After all, the phoenix was such a precious thing. Everything on their bodies combined was not as precious as him. At this moment, Lo Lan took off the necklace around her neck. "Senior, can you take a look at this?" Seeing Lorraine hand over the necklace in her hand, the white beast was also stunned. "Junior sister, that's..." Before the white beast could finish speaking, it felt Lorraine's gaze. She swallowed the words that were about to come out of her mouth. The necklace in Lorraine's hand was said to be a relic left behind by her master's wife. It had always been with her junior sister. However, in this situation, this is the only thing I can exchange with Senior. Xiao Changtian took the necklace from Luo Lan's hand and put it into his interspatial ring without checking it carefully. Then, he slowly said to the two of them, "All right, I think your family is also anxious. Hurry up and go back." Seeing Xiao Changtian's eyes smiles, the white beast and Lorraine also said to him, "Thank you, Senior." With Senior's strength, he should know their situation like the back of his hand. They had to hurry back to the Imperial Beast Peak as well. After all, they needed to be in charge of the Imperial Beast Peak. Then, the two of them left the courtyard and hurried to the Starry Sky sect. Not long after the white beast and Lorraine left the courtyard, the system's voice rang in his mind. "Ding dong! A supreme-grade spiritual tree seed has been detected. A mission is now issued to the host. The host is to choose whether to complete it or not. Host, please collect the seeds of 10 types of spiritual trees. After you complete all of them, you will receive 100,000 spiritual crystal points." As the system's voice sounded in his mind, Xiao Changtian was stunned. Spirit tree seed? Why didn't he know that he had such a thing? Could it be? At this moment, Xiao Changtian also thought of something. He took the necklace that Lorraine gave him and took it out from his interspatial ring. Then, he slowly opened the lid of the necklace. Xiao Changtian also saw a few seeds inside. He held the seed in his hand and observed it. This was the seed of the spirit tree. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 754. Junior Sister. You can't jade Pool's sacred world, desolate forbidden ground. Xiao Changtian slowly put the seed back into his interspatial ring. It could be said that he had outsmarted himself. Helping the siblings had triggered the system's mission instead. In other words, he only needed to continue searching for the other 9 spirit tree seeds. Then, he could have 100,000 crystal points and by the spatial coordinates. Thinking of this, Xiao Changtian also planned to rest in the courtyard for a night. Tomorrow, he would set off to find the spiritual tree seeds. Night fell as expected. In the dark night, 2 figures slowly appeared outside the desolate forbidden area. Who? Junior sister. I didn't expect us to really escape from the desolate forbidden land. The white beast said slowly as it looked at Lolan beside it. When they came, they were determined to succeed or die. Although they didn't find the Qilin auspicious beast, they had the phoenix divine beast given to them by Xiao Changtian. They had also exceeded their expectations. Under the phoenix's aura, no demon beasts dared to disturb them in the entire desolate forbidden land. Lorraine had gained the most from this trip. She had awakened her hidden 100 birds constitution. Originally, this constitution only existed in the legends of the Imperial Beast Peak. The 100 birds constitution. Legend had it that those with the 100 birds constitution were the kings of the birds. After cultivating to a certain level, as long as the order was given, no matter how high the cultivation of the bird-type demon beast was, it would not matter how high the cultivation was. They would be dominated by him. In a battle, flocks of birds would definitely become the enemy's nightmare. Senior brother, let's go back. We've been out for so long, Dad might be worried about us. Lorraine said slowly to the white beast. Yes, yes. When the white beast heard Lorraine's words, it nodded at her. With the cover of the night, they could also hide and return to the starry sky sect quickly. Then the 2 of them ran out. However, not long after the 2 of them walked out, an old voice sounded in their ears. It seems that young master is indeed a divine foresight. I didn't expect the 2 of you to actually be able to come out of the desolate forbidden area. Hearing this voice, Lorraine and the white beast stopped in their tracks. Myriad Sword Peak, Old Man Yang. The white beast looked at the old man in the sky and said through gritted teeth, this 10,000 Swords Peak and their Imperial Beast Peak had been enemies for many years, and this 100-year competition was targeting them even more. He did not expect them to know that he and his junior sister had come to the desolate forbidden area. This elder Yang was a peak great saint master. Without the peak master, they would not be able to resist. At this moment, old Master Yang also looked at the white beast below and slowly said to him, You're the representative of the Imperial Beast Peak for this year's White Year tournament, right? Although your strength isn't that great, it's still better for the young master to get rid of you. Old Man Yang did not give the white beast a chance to react. Black Sky Palm. A huge black palm print appeared in front of Old Man Yang, complementing the darkness of the night as it attacked the white beast. Senior brother, be careful. Lorraine was the first to react. She quickly came in front of the white beast and helped him block Old Master Yang's Black Sky Palm. Puff. After receiving Old Master Yang's Black Sky Palm, Lorraine also spat out a mouthful of blood. Junior sister, are you alright? The white beast supported Luo Lan and spoke to her with concern. Yo, this little girl has actually activated the 100 birds physique that is rarely seen in 10,000 years. No wonder she can receive this old man's palm. How about this? This old man has changed his mind. As long as you cripple your cultivation and return with this old man, you can be the young master's bed-warming girl. He'll consider letting you go. How about it? I think young master will like a girl with 100 birds physique. Speaking up to this point, Old Man Yang also let out a lewd laugh in the air. Old dog, don't even think about it. At this moment, the white beast also walked forward and pointed at Old Man Yang. Take this. The white beast muttered something, and then a piebald tiger appeared beside him. This was his natal demonic beast. Just like him, it was a sage master. Seeing Old Master Yang in the sky, the white beast also said to Lorraine behind him, Lorraine, hurry up and run. Senior brother, come and stop him. Ha ha ha. Stop this old man. Kid, why don't you take a look at your own strength? If you want to be a hero and save the damsel in distress, Why don't you take a look at your own strength? As soon as he finished speaking, Old Man Yang was about to attack the white beast. Now, not only did he have to deal with the people from Beast Taming Peak, but he also had to bring Lorraine back to warm the young master's bed. This way, he could dispel the dissatisfaction that the young master had towards him in the main hall. Old Man Yang instantly arrived at the white beast, and a huge palm print slowly appeared in his palm. With his strength as a peak great saint master, the white beast couldn't even last a few breaths before it was sent flying. As for the white beast's piebald tiger, it was even trampled under old Master Yang's feet. You're really trash, senior brother. At the same time, seeing that the white beast had been defeated by Old Man Yang, Lorraine shouted at him. Stop shouting. Do you still want to consider my request? Old Man Yang kicked the piebald tiger to the side and picked up the white beast from the ground. He then spoke to Lorraine slowly. Lorraine looked at the injured white beast and said to Old Master Yang, "Let go of my senior brother. You haven't answered my question. How can I let go? You'd better think about it carefully. Otherwise, it's hard to say what will happen to your senior brother's life." Old Master Yang placed his hand on the white beast's neck and deliberately emphasized his tone. The white beast was caught in Old Master Yang's hand, and its face turned red. It looked at Lorraine in front of it and said, "Lorraine, don't worry about senior brother. Hurry up and leave this place. What kind of hero can a trash like you present?" Pa. At this moment, Old Master Yang also slapped the white beast. "I'll give you the last 3 breaths, or your senior brother will be gone." 3, 2, no need. Lorraine struggled. When she heard Old Master Yang's words, she shouted at him. Hearing Lorraine's words, the white beast struggled to speak to him. "Junior sister, you can't. The white beast knew what he was going to do when it saw the spiritual energy in Lorraine's hands. If this Lorraine crippled his cultivation and wasted his life because of him, the white beast would never forgive him. Seeing that Luo Lan was about to cripple her cultivation, Old Master Yang's face was filled with a smile. Then, Old Master Yang suddenly threw the white beast in his hand out and covered his body as he screamed. "Ah!" Hearing Old Master Yang's scream, Lorraine stopped what she was doing. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 755. The Shock of the Peak Master of the Imperial Beast Peak. 1 Jade Pool Sacred Land, Star Sect. There was a lush green mountain peak. From afar, this mountain peak seemed somewhat desolate. There were no magnificent palaces in the mountains. On the contrary, there were only a few small huts on the mountain peak. Behind the thatched cottage, there were many small demon beast cubs. At this moment, 2 figures slowly appeared on the mountain peak. The 2 figures could not hide the fatigue on their faces. They were the white beast and Lorraine, who had returned from the desolate forbidden land. The moment the 2 of them stepped onto the mountain peak, an old man quickly walked out of the thatched cottage. "White beast Lorraine, you're back." The old man quickly arrived in front of them, his voice filled with excitement. "Father! Master!" Upon seeing the old man, Lorraine walked towards him with a smile. The white beast greeted him respectfully. "It's good that you're back, cough. Cough. Cough." Before the old man could finish speaking, he coughed a few times. "Father, are you all right?" Lorraine asked the old man with concern when she saw his expression. When the old man heard this, he waved his hand at her and said to them, "How was your trip to the desolate forbidden land? Did you get anything?" Hearing the old man's words, the white beast also took a step forward and said to him, "Master, although we found the Qilin auspicious beast, something happened and we couldn't bring it back. Sigh, this is fate. Forget it. Even without the Qilin auspicious beast, Master will do his best to help you find a place to live. The Imperial Beast Peak has no more. Before the white beast could finish speaking, the old man interrupted him. As he spoke, tears glistened in his eyes. In fact, when he sent Lorraine and the white beast out to look for the Qilin auspicious beast, he regretted it. What kind of place was the desolate forbidden land? The fact that the 2 of them could return safely was already the greatest comfort to him. As for whether or not Beast Taming Peak was going to live under someone else's roof in the future, it did not seem that important to him. Father, what are you saying? At this moment, Lorraine also looked at the Peak Master of Beast Taming Peak in front of her and said slowly to him, although my senior brother and I didn't find the Chilean auspicious beast, we met a senior in the mountain. With senior's help, not only did I break through to Saint Master, senior even gave us the Phoenix Divine Beast. Oh, so it was Senior Yamanaka who sent you out. Wait, what did you just say? The Peak Master of Beast Taming Peak was a little stunned when he heard Lorraine's words. At the same time, he placed his hand on Lorraine's arm, and a stream of spiritual energy entered her body. Lorraine, you really broke through to the Saint Master realm. At this moment, the Beast Control Peak's master looked at Lorraine with excitement again. That's right. Senior even gave us a Phoenix Divine Beast. Father, this time, our Imperial Beast Peak will definitely be able to defend the main peak's position. As she spoke, Lorraine took a few steps to the side, revealing Phoenix behind her. When the Peak Master of the Imperial Beast Peak saw the Phoenix, an illusory image of a phoenix emitting a bloodline pressure and carrying an endless fire domain behind it appeared in front of him. The moment the phoenix appeared, the demon beasts on the Imperial Beast Mountain were all lying on the ground. Divine Phoenix. Oh my god, Lorraine, you guys actually got the approval of the Phoenix. At this moment, the Peak Master of Beast Taming Peak had not recovered from the shock. The joy that came one after another made him a little at a loss. The moment the Phoenix appeared, perhaps it was because it resonated with Lorraine's 100 Birds physique. At this moment Lorraine's 100 Birds physique was also glowing. Lorraine, you JS this the 100 Birds physique? Seeing the light on Lorraine's body, the Peak Master of Beast Tamer Peak was even more shocked. Then, he sat on the ground and laughed loudly. Ha ha ha. God bless my Beast Taming Peak. Master, are you alright? The white beast saw that the Imperial Beast was so excited that it rushed to his side. The Peak Master of the Imperial Beast Peak waved at the white beast and slowly stood up with the help of the white beast. Master is fine. It's just that you guys have given me too many surprises. With Senior Phoenix and Lorraine's strength as a Saint Master, our Beast Trainer Peak might still be the main peak. Seeing the Beast Taming Peak's Peak Master's expression, the white beast and Lorraine nodded at him. They all understood that this Imperial Beast Peak was the blood and sweat of their master. At the same time, it was also the place where they grew up. They had too many feelings here. If the Imperial Beast Peak was stripped of its right to be the man peak, they would have to live under someone else's roof. They didn't feel good either. Fortunately, they met Senior in the desolate forbidden area. They also had hope of protecting their home. At this moment, the Peak Master of Beast Taming Peak continued to speak to Lorraine and the white beast. You just said that Senior Phoenix was given to you by a senior. Tell me what is going on. Upon hearing the words of the Beast Taming Peak's Peak Master, Lorraine and the white beast also told him everything they had experienced in the desolate forbidden land. I see. After the Beast Taming Peak's Peak Master heard Lorraine and the white beast's confidences, he also felt lucky. Looks like you guys are lucky this time. Senior has a gentle personality and has given you so many opportunities. As your master, I should also go and thank you. At this point, the eyes of the Peak Master of the Imperial Beast Peak were filled with respect. From a certain perspective, Xiao Changtian could be said to be his great benefactor. Following that, Beast Trainer Peak's Peak Lord also said respectfully to Phoenix, Senior Phoenix, we have a spiritual garden on the Imperial Beast Peak. I wonder if you can stay there? This spirit garden was the most suitable place for demon beasts to live on their Beast Imperial Peak. Moreover, it was also beneficial for their cultivation. For the Phoenix Divine Beast, this was the best residence the Beast Taming Peak's Peak Master could offer. You don't need to worry about me. I'll just walk around by myself. With that little girl's 100 Birds physique, she can also sense me. The Phoenix spoke in the human language, and then her figure disappeared from the eyes of the Beast Taming Peak's Peak Master and the others. The Beast Taming Peak's Peak Master and the others did not say anything about Phoenix's words. Following that, the Peak Master of Imperial Beast Peak said to the white beast and Lorraine, Lorraine, white beast, you two take care of one of them and bring me to thank Senior. Hearing the words of the peak master of beast taming peak, the white beast and Lorraine nodded at him. At the same time, on a small path, Xiao Changtian was walking around with a bamboo basket on his back. After walking for so long, I finally saw a town. Xiao Changtian was looking ahead on the small path. His face revealed a trace of joy as he quickly walked over. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 756. Earning money by opening in shop. 1 Jade Lake Sacred World. Xiao Changtian slowly entered a small town. There were 3 words carved on the stone gate of the town, Star Town. The town was filled with the smell of fireworks, and all kinds of shouts continued. After entering the town, Xiao Changtian headed straight for a plant seed shop. Boss, do you have any spirit tree seeds here? A man with a wretched appearance was sitting in the shop. At this moment, he was taking a nap at the counter. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, he sized him up. He was dressed in green, and had an imposing appearance. He couldn't be a young master from some family, right? Looking at Xiao Changtian, the wretched man hurriedly stood up from his seat. Sir, what kind of spirit tree seed do you want? As he spoke, the wretched man took out a few green seeds from the cabinet behind him. Young master, let me tell you, this is from the desolate forbidden land. Ordinary people can't buy it even if they want to. Young master, you can take a look. If you weren't my first customer today, I wouldn't have sold you out. After selling it to young master, I don't have any other requests. I just want young master to help me promote it. At this moment, the wretched man looked at Xiao Changtian, like a lamb waiting to be slaughtered. He naturally knew what to say to these young masters to make them buy quickly. Xiao Changtian didn't pay much attention to the wretched man. He looked at the green seeds on the counter, and didn't wait for the system's action. Then he slowly said to the wretched man, Shopkeeper, are these the best spirit tree seeds you have here? Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the wretched man was stunned for a moment before he continued. Young master, these seeds were found in the desolate forbidden land. Is there anything wrong with them? Xiao Changtian didn't explain to the wretched man at this time. He took out silver from his interspatial ring and handed it to him. I'm sorry, this is not what I'm looking for. Do you know where else I can find high-grade spirit tree seeds? Instead of searching everywhere, it was better to ask these insiders. This way, he might be able to save a lot of trouble. After receiving Xiao Changtian 1's reward, the wretched man smiled at Xiao Changtian and said, Young master, if you want information on the various spirit tree seeds, you can go to the Heaven Secrets Pavilion to buy information. As long as you have money, you can buy anything there. Xiao Changtian nodded at the wretched man when he heard his words. May I ask how much gold coins are needed for information like the spirit tree seed? Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the wretched man hesitated for a moment. Even the seeds from the desolation forbidden land did not catch this young master's eye. Presumably, the level of those spirit tree seeds should be very high. Thinking of this, the wretched man said to Xiao Changtian, For a request like young masters, courage requires several hundred to several thousand gold coins. Of course, the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets can also offer some treasures as compensation. Hearing the vulgar man's words, Xiao Changtian sucked in a breath of cold air in his heart. Why did the Heavenly Secret Pavilion sound like a black market? However, on the surface, Xiao Changtian did not show any emotion. He thanked the perverted man and left. Walking to the main street of the small town, Xiao Changtian knew that his top priority now was to make money. Money was a jack of all trades. As long as he could earn money, whether it was the news of the spiritual tree seeds, or the direct conversion of spiritual crystal points, it was all possible. But without money, everything was out of the question. Seeing the business of the small stalls in the small town, Xiao Changtian also thought of the mountain forest. They had also killed many wild beasts along the way. In the future, he would go hunting in the mountains and forests and then sell them here. Perhaps it would be a good income. With a plan in mind, Xiao Changtian asked around on the streets. Only then did he realize that setting up a stall in this small town was not an easy task. The shops here were all under the jurisdiction of the Star Sect. To open a shop here, one needed their permission. In fact, Xiao Changtian didn't want to interact with Xiaxianists. This was because he had no idea what realm his strength was at. Although the system could help him test the talents of others, it did not tell him if he could beat them. Xiao Changtian still wanted to wait until he earned enough crystals to buy a large number of cultivation points in the mall. At the very least, he should wait until his cultivation reached tens of thousands of levels before going out to show off. After all, he had also heard from Daoist's great son that he had tens of thousands of years of cultivation. Thinking about it, he was only a few thousand levels now, so he did not seem particularly strong. It was all the system's fault. It was so bad that he had been happy for nothing. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian came to a large hall. This was the place where the Starry Sky Sect registered their shop in this small town. After walking in, he saw a few disciples of Stellar Sect in the uniform of Stellar Union. "Excuse me, how do I register to open a shop in this town?" Upon hearing Xiao Changshan's words, a disciple of the Starry Sky Sect glanced at Xiao Changtian and found him unfamiliar. Then he slowly said to Xiao Changtian, "Do you have an appointment or a recommendation?" Xiao Changtian shook his head at the disciple of Starry Sky Sect. Then, the disciple of the Starry Sky Sect walked to Xiao Changshan's side and gave him a hint. "As you know, there are many things going on in this town, and the few of us are very busy. Why don't you find another time to come back?" As he spoke, the disciple of the Starry Sky Sect pointed at the tea house opposite him. He hinted Xiao Changtian to prepare the silver and go to the tea house to talk at night. Xiao Changtian frowned when he heard the words of the disciples of the Starry Sky Sect. There was basically no one in the shop. If she didn't do it for him at this time, wouldn't she want his bribe? With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian said to them, "There are no customers in this shop. What are you guys busy with at this time?" When the disciples of the Starry Sky Sect heard Xiao Changshan's words, they were also displeased. Why was this guy so unreasonable? Wasn't his hint obvious just now? Then the Starry Sky Sect disciple said to Xiao Changtian, "Do we, the Starry Sky Sect, have to report to you when we do things? You should leave. Otherwise, we can only ask you to leave." The Starry Sky Sect is so arrogant. Is this how they manage their disciples? It seemed that the Starry Sky Sect was not a good place. Xiao Changtian was about to walk out as soon as he finished speaking. Compared to the Great Sun Sect, the difference between the Starry Sky Sect and the Great Sun Sect was like the difference between clouds and mud. When the disciples of the Starry Sky Sect heard Xiao Changshan's words, their faces darkened. "You brat, how dare you insult the Starry Sky Sect? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 757. Storm in the Store, Jade Pool Sacred World Star Town. In the store, the disciples of Starry Sky Sect saw Xiao Changtian wanting to leave and said to him, "Talks B. Asil 1N what you just said DNTTWNK. But Kevin ate this pasta." The furious voice of the disciples of the Starry Sky Sect attracted the attention of the townspeople. They knew a little about the matter of the disciples of the Starry Sky Sect accepting bribes. However, there was nothing they could do. After all, their Starry Sky Sect was the strongest sect in the surrounding hundreds of sections. They could only swallow their anger. Seeing Xiao Changtian like this today, some kind-hearted people walked up to him and slowly said, "Brother, the Starry Sky Sect is the most powerful sect within a radius of several hundred miles. Let's avoid trouble if we can." As soon as he finished speaking, a kind-hearted townsfolk also wanted to pull Xiao Changtian away. He had seen a young man who had not bribed the disciples of the Starry Sky Sect last time. He was crippled by the disciples of the Starry Sky Sect and would spend the rest of his life in a wheelchair. At the same time, the townsman said to the disciples of the Starry Sky Sect, "Sir, this brother offended you with his words just now. Please forgive him." "Get lost." The disciple of the Starry Sky Sect kicked the kind-hearted townsman aside. Then, he looked at Xiao Changtian and said loudly to the onlookers, "Let me tell you, if anyone dares to interfere today, they won't be able to survive in this town in the future." Hearing the disciples of the Starry Sky sect, the faces of the surrounding townspeople changed. They looked at Xiao Changtian with a mournful expression. Xiao Changshan's ending, they didn't need to think to guess it roughly. Others old 11376 been crippled at this time. Xiao Changtian had already come to the side of the fallen townsman, and slowly helped him up from the ground. She smiled at him and said, "Uncle, are you all right?" The old man looked at Xiao Changtian and said slowly, "Young man, I'm fine. This Starry Sky sect is not to be trifled with." The reason why this old man helped Xiao Changtian was mainly because the person whose leg was broken by the Starry Sky sect was his son. If he wants to run, where can he run to? Based on what he said today, he definitely won't be able to survive in this town in the future. See if I don't break his legs today. As they spoke, the disciples of the Starry Sky sect slowly walked towards Xiao Changtian. At the same time in the small town, the peak master of the Imperial Beast Peak led the White Beast, Lorraine, and the others on the street. After cleaning up, the peak master of the Imperial Beast Peak and the others also wanted to thank Xiao Changtian. At this moment, the White Beast looked at the crowd in front of it and frowned. Wasn't that the place where the Starry Sky sect managed the town? Why were there so many people here today? At this time, Lorraine also found a townsfolk to ask and roughly understood what had happened there. After hearing the townspeople's words, the White Beast said angrily, "The people of the 10,000 Swords Peak are really arrogant. The reputation of the Starry Sky sect will be ruined by them sooner or later." Due to the status of the 10,000 Swords Peak in the Starry Sky sect, most of the lucrative jobs in the sect were from the 10,000 Swords Peak. Hearing that they were using their positions to take bribes, the White Beast was a little angry. At this moment, the Peak Master of the Imperial Beast Peak also said to the White Beast and Lorraine, "Let's go take a look, but don't act rashly." It was rare for the Peak Master of Beast Taming Peak to leave the mountain. When he saw this situation, his expression turned cold. Hearing the words of the Peak Master of Beast Taming Peak, the White Beast and Lorraine slowly walked towards the shop. At this moment, Xiao Changtian was looking at the disciples of the Starry Sky sect, who were slowly walking towards him. His expression was also very gloomy, although he did not want to get into too much trouble with the immortal cultivators now. However, some people were just despicable and insisted on bumping into him. With that thought in mind, Xiao Changtian also made preparations to attack the disciples of the Starry Sky sect at any time. "I've seen people like you countless times. Do you know what happened to them?" If they didn't know, they could ask the people around them. They all ended up living in wheelchairs. "Today, let me teach you on behalf of your parents." At this point, the Starry Sky sect disciple's true essence surged in his hands and attacked Xiao Changtian. After Xiao Changtian heard what the disciple of the Starry Sky sect said, he had also blacklisted this disciple of the Starry Sky sect in his heart. The disciple of the Starry Sky sect instantly arrived in front of Xiao Changtian, with a smug smile on his face. His palm was about to hit Xiao Changshan's chest. At this moment, an angry voice sounded in the air. "Bear Qin, don't be so arrogant." As soon as he finished speaking, Go Xiongqin saw the White Beast come in front of him and hit him in the chest. Then Go Xiongqin's body flew out and smashed the counter in the shop. Xiao Changtian was just about to attack when he saw the White Beast in front of him. He also felt that it looked familiar at this moment. The White Beast quickly said to Xiao Changtian, "Senior, sorry for disturbing you." At this time, Lorraine also came to Xiao Changshan's side and said to him, "Senior, we didn't expect you to come here. If you want to come, we can also pick you up." When Xiao Changtian saw Luo Lan, he remembered how they looked in the courtyard. Weren't they the siblings who came to the mountains to beg for food? At this moment, Qin Xiong slowly got up from the ground, blood still dripping from the comber of his mouth. Beside him, there were a few disciples of the 10,000 Swords Peak. Looking at the White Beast and Luolan, Qin Goxiong also recognized them. He did not expect that the most desolate beast trainer Peak would deal with him for a mortal at this time. "White Beast, you dared to attack me." Goxiong Qin knew that he was no match for the White Beast, So he said to him, "Wait for me to go back and tell the young master. All of you, what will we do?" Before Go Xiongqin could finish, an old and powerful voice sounded in his ear. Following that, the peak master of beast taming peak also entered the shop. Seeing the peak master of beast taming peak, Go Xiongqin was also a little shocked. He swallowed the words that were about to come out of his mouth and turned around to leave with the others. "Just you wait." Just as he took a step out of the shop, Go Xiongqin also said something ruthless and wanted to go back and tell Qin Shou. "No need to wait." The peak master of the Imperial Beast Peak slowly raised his palm and struck his back. "Aha!" Go Xiongqin let out a miserable scream, and his body crashed heavily onto the ground outside. "I'm going to kill you, kill you." Lying on the ground and shouting, Go Xiongqin pointed at the peak master of beast taming peak and the others. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know, report, so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 758. I'll give my stall to Senior Jade Pool Sacred World Star Town. If you continue to scream, believe it or not, I will kill you right now. The white beast looked at Black Bear Qin, who was screaming crazily on the ground outside, and shouted at him. Seeing the white beast's cold eyes, the disciples of the Thousand Swords Peak beside Go Xiongqin couldn't help but shiver. "Big brother, let's go report to the young lord first. We won't fight with them now." At this moment, a disciple of 10,000 Swords Peak said to Go Xiongqin slowly. At the same time, he winked at the people around him and helped Go Xiongqin to walk towards the direction of the Starry Sky sect. Seeing them leave, the white beast said to the onlookers, "Everyone disperse." As soon as the white beast finished speaking, the townspeople present did not dare to stay any longer. After all, these people had beaten up the people of the Starry Sky sect. Although it was good to see those people being beaten up, it was hard to say when they called for reinforcements. After the crowd dispersed, the white beast and Lorraine arrived in front of Xiao Changtian. "Senior." Seeing the white beast and Luolan, Xiao Changtian nodded at them. Then, the white beast pointed at the peak master of the Imperial Beast Peak and said to Xiao Changtian, "This is my master." The peak master of the Imperial Beast Peak looked at Xiao Changtian with great respect. He said to Xiao Changtian, "One show greets Senior." The peak master of the Imperial Beast Peak was called Taoist Master Wanshou, and he had the meaning of ruling over all beasts. Seeing the old man behind the white beast, Xiao Changtian smiled kindly at him. He had also seen that it was this old man who had helped him deal with the disciple of the Starry Sky sect. This family is really simple-minded and knows how to repay kindness. He had only given them a pheasant, and they were willing to fight against the immortal cultivators for him. Looking at Xiao Changtian, Wanshou Zhenren said to him, "Senior, are you here to open a shop?" Xiao Changshan's mood was much better after those annoying disciples of the Starry Sky sect escaped. Hearing Master Taoist Wanshou's words, he nodded at him. "Yes, I want to set up a stall in this small town and do a small business." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Master Taoist Wanshou's heart skipped a beat. He continued, "Senior, I happen to have a stall in this town that I haven't used yet. If Senior doesn't mind, I'll give my stall to Senior." The main peaks of the Starry Sky sect had their own stalls in the small towns to provide some income for their peaks. It was just that over the years, Beast Trainer Peak had become more and more desolate year by year, and the business in this small town had also stopped. However, the stall was still open. Hearing Master Wanshou's words, Xiao Changtian was delighted. After those people left, he planned to find other ways to set up a stall. This old man's stall was really a timely reign for him. However, Xiao Changtian still asked Master Wanshou, "Uncle, don't you need that stall? What if I use you?" Xiao Changtian knew that they were grateful, but it would be bad if he affected their lives. Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Master Taoist Wanshou's eyes were filled with desolation. "Senior, we've put that stall aside for many years. I'm afraid you don't mind." "I see." Xiao Changtian heard Master Wanshou's words and looked at them. He also understood. They had to go hunting in the mountains to make a living. It was probably because their family's business was not good. Otherwise, Would it be like that? How about this? I want use your stall for free. How about we split it 70-30? Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Master Wanshou said to him, Senior, we owe you so much. We can't agree to your request. Taoist Master Wanshou had lived for so many years, and was also very shrewd. Now was the time when their imperial beast peak was in a desolate state. How could they covet the benefits in front of them? As long as he had a good relationship with Xiao Changtian, everything else was secondary. Xiao Changtian sighed in his heart when he heard Master Wanshou's words. This family was really honest and kind. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian deliberately pulled a long face and said to them, I know it's not easy for you guys right now, so just do as I said. Otherwise, I won't need your help anymore. Seeing Xiao Changshan's expression, Master Taoist Wanshou could only nod in agreement. Then, under Master Wanshou's lead, Xiao Changtian also came to the stall in the center of the town. Due to the position of the Starry Sky sect in the town, all their stalls were located in the center of the town. However, there were also good and bad stalls in the center. As the most desolate main peak, the stalls on the Imperial Beast Peak were naturally the worst in the center. Xiao Changtian looked at the dust-covered stall in front of him and started tidying up the place with Master Wanshou and the others. On the other side, Go Xiongqin also slowly arrived at the Thousand Swords Peak with the help of the disciples. The main hall of the Thousand Swords Peak was singing and dancing day and night. At this moment, Go Xiongqin and a few Thousand Swords Peaks came in. It also attracted Qin Shaoxi's gaze. He waved his hand downwards. The singing girls below retreated to the two sides of the hall. At this time, Qin Shou also said to the disciples of the Thousand Swords Peak below, Black Bear, aren't you managing the shop at the foot of the mountain? Who beat you up like this? At this moment, Go Xiongqin covered his chest and looked at Qin Shou with tears streaming down his face. He cried to him, Young master, I finally saw you. You don't know, but I almost couldn't see you. Qin Shou frowned when he saw the tearful expression on Go Xiongqin's face. It wasn't that he really cared about this Black Bear Qin. It was just that the entire Starry Sky sect knew that this Black Bear Qin was his follower. Wouldn't it be a slap to his own face to beat Qin Goxiong up like this at the foot of the mountain? Tell me what happened. Black Bear Qin looked at Qin Shou and immediately told him everything that happened in the shop at the foot of the mountain. Young lord, you don't know. That old thief Wanshou told me that it was useless no matter who came before I left. He simply doesn't put the young lord in his eyes. Speaking of this, the tears on Go Xiongqin's face flowed down again. After hearing Go Xiongqin's description, Qin Shou's face turned ashen. Last time, he thought that the White Beast and Lorraine had died in the Wasteland Forbidden area. Now not only did they come back, but they also beat their own people. In that case, old Master Yang should have died at their hands. Imperial Beast Peak, very good. At this moment, a jade-like hand was placed on Qin Shou's shoulder. She said to him in a faint voice, Who exactly is it that made my young master Qin so angry? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 759. It's up to you to act now. 1 Starry Sky Sect Myriad Sword Peak. Qin Shou heard the faint voice coming from behind him and pulled her into his arms. Who else could it be? It's the beast taming peak that you want to replace. Feng Bitong, who was in Qin Shui's arms, rolled her eyes when she heard the word Imperial Beast Peak. What happened? Can you tell me? Seeing Feng Bitong's expression, Qin Shou also told him about what Go Xiongqin had just told him. From the sound of it, this Imperial Beast Peak still has the mood to sell things now? At this moment, Feng Bitong was also looking at Go Xiongqin, who was sitting on the ground, and she said to him with a smile. Go Xiongqin knew that Feng Bitong was the saintess of Phoenix Perch Peak, and the new favorite of their young master. Hearing her words, he naturally did not dare to be negligent and replied, Yes, when the little guy first saw them, he was also a little unbelievable, but it was really them. Alright, wait for me for a while. I'll be back after dealing with it. At this moment, Qin Shou spoke slowly to Feng Bitong. It seemed like he wanted to personally attack Beast Taming Peak. However, when Feng Bitong heard Qin Shou's words, she spoke to him once again. Young Master Qin, don't be impulsive. Think about it. At this time, the Imperial Beast Peak suddenly wants to open a shop downstairs. Would he deliberately put on such a show to bait you? Hearing Feng Bitong's words, Qin Shou pondered for a moment before saying to Feng Bitong, in your opinion, what should we do? Young Master Qin, why don't we give him a taste of his own medicine? Oh, what do you mean? Since this Imperial Beast Peak wants to open a stall, what can they sell? Naturally, it's their demon beast meat. Feng Bitong paused for a moment, before taking out a bone from her interspatial ring. This is the precious bone of our Phoenix Peak. It can suppress the effects of other demon beast meat. If this Imperial Beast Peak deceives the townspeople, and arouses the dissatisfaction of the townspeople below, what will Sect Master think? Hearing Feng Bitong's words, Qin Shou's face broke into a smile. He pinched Feng Bitong's cheek and smiled at her. You're a woman who doesn't lose much. Since you're so thoughtful, let's do as you say. Then, Qin Shou said to Go Xiongqin, now you know what to do. Go Xiongqin looked at the two people who were so close to each other in front of him, and took the precious bone from Feng Bitong. He also said with some worry, young master, this thing won't be discovered by that old man from the Imperial Beast Peak, right? Qin Shou frowned and said to him, are you doubting Bitong? Hearing Qin Shou's angry voice, Go Xiongqin didn't dare to say anything. He said to them, I'll do it now. Feng Bitong also smiled at him when she saw his expression. You can rest assured and do it. With the strength of the bloodline of the beasts of the Imperial Beast Peak, there is absolutely no problem with the precious bone. After hearing Feng Bitong's words, Go Xiongqin was filled with confidence. At the same time above Stardust Town, after Taoist Master Wanshou and Xiao Changtian tidied up the place, the entire stall became clean and tidy. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also took out the wild beasts he had killed in the forest from his interspatial ring. This is a flying rhinoceros? Chaotic sky fat pig. Xiao Changtian took out the beasts from his interspatial ring. Taoist Wanshou, White Beast, and Lorraine all opened their mouths wide. Any one of these demonic beasts could be placed in their Imperial Beast Peak, and could be treated as a mountain-guarding divine beast. Seeing Master Wanshou and the others standing still, Xiao Changtian said to them, Uncle White Beast, you've worked hard just now. If you want you can take some back. Senior, is this okay? Lorraine said in shock. Xiao Changtian had already given them the meat of the flaming lion in the desolate forbidden land. But now that they saw these demon beasts, Lorraine and the white beasts were still very shocked. Of course, why not? Xiao Changtian smiled at them, and casually grabbed a wild beast and handed it to them. Thank you, Senior. Even Taoist Master Wanshou could not say that he was not tempted by these demon beasts. He was simply very tempted. Seeing their expressions, Xiao Changtian smiled. It's all right. From the last time they went hunting in the mountains, Xiao Changtian knew that it wasn't easy for them. It was normal for them to be excited when they saw these wild beasts. At this moment, Qin Xiong brought the disciples of the 10,000 Swords Peak back to Stellar Town. They hid in an alley not far from Xiao Changshan's stall. Don't get so close, you're hurting me. At this moment, Go Xiongqin said to a disciple of the 1,000 Swords Peak behind him. Then he looked at Xiao Changtian and the others and muttered. Just as Miss Baitong said, they are here to sell their meat. Then, a smile appeared on Go Xiongqin's face. He took out the precious bone that Feng Baitong had given him, and said to the 10,000 Swords Peak disciple beside him. Where are you going? Like this, like this. Do you understand? Big brother, I know what to do. After hearing Go Xiongqin's words, the 10,000 Swords Peak disciple also smiled and said to him. Very good, go quickly. Go Xiongqin looked at Xiao Changshan's stall, his eyes filled with hatred. He had yet to fully recover from the palm strike that Taoist Master Wanshou had struck him with. Xiao Changtian was also arranging all kinds of wild beast meat on the stall. Then a few big words were written on the stall, first-grade fragrance. This was also to commemorate his experience in the first-grade incense, when he was in the Saint Spirit sky. At this moment, the disciples of the 1,000 Swords Peak also came to Xiao Changshan's stall. Are you selling meat? Xiao Changtian didn't expect that customers would come to his stall as soon as he named it. He immediately turned around and saw the disciple of the Thousand Swords Peak pointing at the demonic beast meat on the stall. He said to him, "Yeah, we have pork beef. The price is not expensive. Pork is 1 gold coin per 500 grams. Beef is 3 gold coins per piece. Customer, what do you need?" Hearing Xiao Changshan's introduction, Wang Jianfeng looked at the demon beast meat on the stall and could see that they were extraordinary. Sure enough, everything went according to plan. This imperial beast peak took out their demon beast meat and sold it. Then it was up to him to perform. As long as he did well, his status in the mountain peak would rise in the future. Thinking of this, the Wanjian Peak disciple smiled. "Then give me a few caddies of beef. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 760. Impossible, it doesn't make sense. 1 Jade Pool Sacred World Star Town. In front of Xiao Changshan's stall, a disciple of the Thousand Swords Peak said to Xiao Changtian slowly. At this moment, the White Beast and Lorraine also walked over. When they saw that it was a disciple of the Thousand Swords Peak, they frowned. Just as he was about to say something, Xiao Changtian said to them, "White Beast, Lorraine, there's a guest." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, the White Beast and Lorraine nodded at him. There was a high chance that the 10,000 Swords Peak disciple had ill intentions for appearing here. However, the senior did not say anything. They also began to entertain the disciples of the 10,000 Swords Peak. When the disciples of the Thousand Swords Peak saw the White Beast and Lorraine, they were actually panicking. The relationship between the 10,000 Swords Peak and the Beast Taming Peak had always been bad, especially since the Beast Taming Peak's Peak Master was here. Soon, Xiao Changtian also cut a plate of beef and placed it on the table of the disciples of the Thousand Swords Peak. Seeing the beef on the table, the disciple of the Thousand Swords Peak said in his heart, "I don't care." Then, the true essence circulating in his body slowly poured into the precious bone hidden in his sleeve. Instantly, the precious bone in his sleeve emitted a faint light. He wanted to absorb the energy from the beef on the table. If it was ordinary beef, it would naturally turn into a pile of rotten meat after being absorbed by him. However, this was a flying rhinoceros that Xiao Changtian had caught from the forbidden land of the desolate wilderness. It was at least at the level of a sacred sovereign. For a time, cracks appeared on the precious bone in the sleeves of the 10,000 Swords Peak disciple because of the flying rhinoceros energy. The disciples of the Thousand Swords Peak were still unaware of all this. He only knew that as long as he activated the precious bone, the beef would go bad. As for what would happen, he didn't know. After a while, the disciple of the Thousand Swords Peak said to Xiao Changtian, "Shopkeeper, is there something wrong with your beef? Why doesn't it taste anything after I eat it?" When he spoke, the disciple of the Thousand Swords Peak deliberately raised his voice, as if he was afraid that the people around him could not hear him. Hearing the words of the 10,000 Swords Peak disciple, the White Beast was also furious. "These bastards! I knew they didn't have any good intentions." Just as the White Beast was about to rush out, it was stopped by Lorraine. At this time, they still had to see what was going on. As the disciples of the Thousand Swords Peak complained, some people came over to watch. Xiao Changtian looked at this disciple of the Thousand Swords Peak and understood something from his expression. Great! It was just the first day of his new shop, and someone was already looking for trouble. How could he not know what his beef looked like? After a while, Go Xiongqin also came with a few disciples of the Thousand Swords Peak. "Io, isn't this the young man who wanted to open a shop last time? He's actually setting up an illegal stall here. From what this brother said just now, it seems that you are still selling inferior goods." Xiao Changtian finally understood what was going on when he saw the vivid performance of Go Xiongqin. He had just arrived in this small town and was a little puzzled as to why someone would come to find trouble. So it was that disciple of the Starlight sect. It seemed like they were in cahoots. The surrounding audience was also whispering at this time, "Is there really a problem with this shop? I'm not sure. He even beat up the people of the Starry Sky sect before. I think his status is not low. What good things will they give us? Looking at the people around him, Xiao Changtian also understood that if he didn't clarify this matter today, in the future, his reputation would probably be ruined. Not to mention earning money. You're slandering me. At this moment, Lorraine couldn't help but say to Go Xiongqin and the others. At this moment, Master Daoist Wanshou also stood up. Go Xiongqin was also a little scared when he saw Master Wanshou's actions. What are you doing? Are you going to hit me if I'm right? As he spoke, he even took a few steps back. Seeing Go Xiongqin and the others, Xiao Changtian said to Luolan and the others, "Leave it to me." As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao Changtian walked up to the disciple of the Thousand Swords Peak and said slowly, "You're the only one who's eaten my beef. How can you convince everyone if you say it doesn't taste good? I can guarantee that you can give my beef to the people around you." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Go Xiongqin sneered. With the precious bone, the energy in the beef would probably have already disappeared. This piece of beef without any energy was so expensive. Wasn't this a scam? Thinking of this, Go Xiongqin said to Xiao Changtian, "All right, let the others have a taste and see if this brother is lying." "All right, let me do it." At this moment, a townsfolk took the initiative to walk out, picked up the beef on the plate of the 10,000 Swords Peak disciple, and put it into his mouth. "How is it? Is it just a piece of rotten meat?" Go Xiongqin said to the townsman impatiently. As long as this townsfolk spoke, Xiao Changshan's stall could forget about staying in Star Town. The townsfolk chewed the beef in his mouth. After a while, a breath emerged from his body. I broke through. This beef is so magical. Thank you for your beef." At this moment, the townspeople couldn't hide the joy on their faces as they spoke to Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian was also a little stunned when he heard the townsfolk's words. His beef could give people inspiration, but at least it wouldn't be as tasteless as that person said. "What did you say? You can't be mistaken, right?" At this moment, Go Xiongqin said to the townsman in disbelief. Hearing Go Xiongqin's words, the townsfolk also replied, "Do you think him that kind of person?" As soon as he finished speaking, there were also others who sensed the aura on his body and tried the beef on the Myriad Swords Peak disciple's plate. After a while, the plate of the 10,000 Swords Peak disciple was empty. "I broke through, haha. Me too. It's really good beef. These people are here to find trouble." They actually slandered the reputation of other people's shops. At this time, Go Xiongqin and the others also became the target of everyone's criticism. "Impossible. It's unreasonable." Xiao Changtian also came in front of Go Xiongqin and punched each of them. "Aha!" Go Xiongqin and the other disciples of the Thousand Swords Peak let out pig-like cries and flew out. Then, the people around him also lined up in front of Xiao Changshan's stall, fighting to buy his demon beast meat. Xiao Changtian shook his head. That guy wanted to mess with him, but he did not expect to help him promote it. Then Xiao Changtian shouted at them, "Everyone, don't be anxious. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 761. I'm going to find Father, 1. At the foot of the Starry Sky sect. After Go Xiongqin and the others were sent flying by Xiao Changtian, they could only support each other. "Little Six, did you not activate the Precious Bones ability?" At this moment, Go Xiongqin said to a disciple of the Thousand Swords Peak beside him. "No, big brother. I did everything according to your request. There's absolutely no problem. If you don't believe me, look." As he spoke, Little Six took out a precious bone from his sleeve. However, just as the precious bone was taken out, with a crack, it broke into two in front of Go Xiongqin and the others. This has nothing to do with me, big brother." Seeing the precious bone break, Little Six was also somewhat dumbfounded. How could this precious bone break just like that? Little Six suddenly had some doubts. Was this precious bone a low-quality item? However, Go Xiongqin and the others had yet to recover from the shock of their precious bones breaking. An aura burst out from Little Six's body. It seemed that he had broken through to the peak of the Saint Realm. Ah, what's going on? I broke through, big brother. Ha ha ha, big brother, I broke through too. Seeing the happy little six, Go Xiongqin was furious. He stretched out his arm and slapped Xiaoliuzi. I'll let you break through. I'll let you break through. After beating little six unconscious, Go Xiongqin hurried towards the Thousand Swords Peak. Coming to the main hall of the Thousand Swords Peak again, Go Xiongqin was also in a mess. At this moment Qin Shou, who was in the main hall, said to Go Xiongqin, Black Bear, how was it? Did you give those people from Beast Trainer Peak a show of strength? Young master, I failed. Go Xiongqin looked at Qin Shou and said slowly. What? Qin Shou frowned when he heard what Go Xiongqin said. He shouted at Go Xiongqin. Seeing Qin Shou's angry look, Go Xiongqin hurriedly said to him, Young lord, I don't know where that Imperial Beast Peak found the meat of the demonic beasts. The precious bones that Miss Baitong gave us are useless. How is this possible? How can my precious bones be useless? Sitting in Qin Shou's embrace, Feng Baitong's face was cold as she spoke to Go Xiongqin. Black Bear, where is that precious bone? Take it out for Bidong to see. Qin Shou said to Go Xiongqin. After hearing Qin Shou's words, Go Xiongqin also looked at Feng Bidong with fear. Immediately after, he slowly took out 2 precious bones from his pocket. Young master, this precious bone, the precious bone is broken. Broken. At this moment, Feng Bidong raised her voice as she looked down at Black Bear Qin. When Go Xiongqin heard Feng Baitong's angry voice, he didn't dare to say anything and lowered his head. At this moment, Feng Bidong had also arrived in front of Go Xiongqin. Looking at the 2 precious bones in front of him, he put it in his hand and checked the system. Then he said coldly, Good, the Imperial Beast Peak is actually willing to sell such a valuable demon beast. This precious bone was obtained by his master in a mystic realm, and he had given it to her as a birthday gift. For so many years, this precious bone had never made a mistake. Now that the precious bone had broken into 2, it could only mean one thing. That was that the level of the demon beasts that the Imperial Beast Peak took out to sell surpassed the level of his precious bones. After Feng Baitong's words, Go Xiongqin said to Qin Shou, Young master, there is one more thing. I don't know why, but it seems like one can break through my cultivation. The stall at the Imperial Beast Peak is probably bursting with popularity. Bang! As soon as Go Xiongqin finished speaking, Qin Shou flipped the table in front of him. What did you just say? Beef that could help one break through? How could there be such a thing on Beast Peaks? Even if there was, how could he sell it? Seeing Qin Shou's furious expression, Feng Bidong furrowed her brows. What exactly was this Imperial Beast Peak trying to do? Young Master Qin, we need to discuss this matter properly. No need. Help me take care of this place. Oh, go find my father. After such a thing happened, Qin Shou also wanted to look for the peak master of the Myriad Swords Peak. After all, it seemed like things were out of their control. Hearing Qin Shou's words, Feng Bidong nodded. Indeed, the current situation was no longer something they could decide. Ignoring Qin Xiong on the ground, Feng Baitong's hand glowed. Then, he passed on the news about the Imperial Beast Peak to his master. Then he said to Go Xiongqin, Take care of everything in this hall. Otherwise, if I come back, you will be gone. Seeing Feng Baitong's expression, Go Xiongqin nodded in fear. At this moment, Xiao Changtian was at his stall. The demon beast meat on the stall had already been swept clean by the townspeople in the town. Not even a scrap was left. Xiao Changtian looked at the bag full of gold coins in his hand, and was very happy. If only he could earn so many gold coins every day. It wouldn't be long before he could go to the secret pavilion to ask for information. Seeing that there was not much demonic beast meat left in his interspatial ring, Xiao Changtian said to Master Wanshou and the others, Let's call it a day. How about we run this stall together in the future? 50-50 split, how about it? Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Master Taoist Wanshou and the others quickly said, Senior, we're just doing odd jobs. I still have something to do at home. The White Beast and Lorraine will help you here. The split is still the same. 70-30 split. You get 70%, we get 30%. It was already a great fortune for them to be by Xiao Changshan's side. Every time Xiao Changtian cut the meat, it was still the aura of this demon beast. It was a supreme opportunity for them. Xiao Changtian saw Master Wancha's serious expression and said to him, "All right then." Xiao Changtian continued, "Then I'll go back first. The wild beasts are almost sold out, so I still have to go and get more." Hearing Xiao Changshan's words, Master Taoist Wanshou and the others nodded at him. They naturally knew where Xiao Changtian was going. It was the desolate Forbidden Land, the #1 forbidden area in the Jade Lake Sacred World. Before this, they had never thought that the demon beasts in the desolate Forbidden Land would become demon beast meat for their stalls. After Xiao Changtian left, Wanshou Zhenren also looked in the direction of the Myriad Swords Peak. After getting to know Xiao Changtian, their beast-controlling peak might have a chance to fight for the main peak, or even the former #1 peak. Meanwhile, in the Starry Sky sect, after Qin Shou left his palace, he quickly came to Wan Jianfeng's cave abode. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 762. Pixia 1 Starry Sky Sect, Myriad Sword Peak. Qin Shou quickly arrived in front of a cave abode. A figure appeared in front of him. Uncle Qin. When Qin Shou saw this figure, he also bowed to him. When Uncle Qin saw Qin Shouchi, he nodded at him. "Uncle Qin, is father here? I have something to talk to him about. The Peak Master is currently in seclusion. If you have anything to say, you can tell me." Uncle Qin looked at Qin Shou in front of him and said slowly. However, before Qin Shou could speak, an old voice sounded from the cave dwelling. "Let him in." Upon hearing this voice, Uncle Qin also saw the door of the cave abode slowly open. At this moment, Uncle Qin also said to Qin Shou beside him, "Young master, please enter." Qin Shou thanked Uncle Qin and walked into the cave abode. After entering the cave, Qin Shou passed through a corridor and arrived at a stone room. In the center of the stone room, there was a huge stone platform, and an old man was sitting on it. The old man carried a long sword on his back. His beard was white, and his body was thin. He looked like an immortal. Qin Shou entered the stone room and saw the old man. He said to him, "Father, what happened?" The Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak said slowly to him when he saw the boy. Following that, Qin Shou also told him about the recent abnormalities in Beast Trainer Peak. "Father, what should we do now? Is that old man Wanshou struggling on his deathbed?" When the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak heard Qin Shou's words, he slowly spoke. "I heard that their Imperial Beast Peak has a huge spiritual garden that specializes in raising powerful demonic beasts. However, isn't old man Wanshou digging his own grave by doing this? Selling the foundation of your own mountain? What are you going to do with so many gold coins?" Upon hearing the words of the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak, Qin Shou also said to him, "Father, some time ago, the people from the Imperial Beast Peak went into the desolate forbidden area. Do you think they found the Paixio divine beast? My son is still smart. Paixio loves money by nature. If it wasn't for Paixio, how could he make that old man Wanshou go bankrupt?" At this moment, the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak also looked at Qin Shou in satisfaction. "Then father." At this moment, Qin Shou also made a killing gesture towards the Peak Master of the 10,000 Swords Peak. "Sigh, the 100-year competition is just around the corner. It's not good to make a move now. Didn't he want to do business? Our 10,000 Swords Peak can do it too." As he spoke up to this point, the Peak Master of the 10,000 Swords Peak waved his hand downwards. Following that, a gigantic demonic beast corpse appeared before Qin Shou's eyes. "This is the corpse of the flaming lion that I obtained in the Black Sky Mystery Realm some time ago. I originally planned to use it to exchange for some information from the Pavilion of Heavenly Secrets. But now, you can take it to our 10,000 Swords Peak stall and sell it." Feeling the aura emitted by the flaming lion in front of him, Qin Shou had a face full of joy. Looking at it from such a close distance, Qin Shou could still feel a thick aura of a superior from the flaming lion. This flaming lion had the strength of a sacred sovereign at the very least. With this flaming lion, once he put it on his stall to sell, he would be able to kill it. At that time, who would buy the demonic beast meat from the Imperial Beast Peak's stall? When he thought of this, Qin Shou continued to speak to the Peak Master of the 10,000 Swords Peak. Father, I know what to do. It's just that using this flaming lion to deal with the Imperial Beast Peak is a little too wasteful. Hearing Qijian Shou's words, the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak shook his head. My son, think about it. That old man Wanshou has already put all his eggs in one basket. When the time comes, what will he do to us? Receiving the guidance of the Myriad Swords Peak's Peak Master, Qin Shou also understood something. Father, are you saying that Taoist Master Wanshou will give his life source divine beast to? Yes, after all, the value of a Pai Xiu is much more important than a lion with a mottled bloodline. However, without the wind-riding lion, how can the myriad beasts compete with us in the 100-year competition? At this point, the Peak Master of the 10,000 Swords Peak revealed a proud smile. Father is wise. After hearing the words of the Myriad Swords Peak's Peak Master, Qin Shou also flattered him. Hurry up and do it. When Qin Shou heard the words of the Myriad Swords Peak's Peak Master, he also put away the flaming lion's corpse on the ground and walked out. Not long after he left, Uncle Qin also came to the cave. Uncle Qin, it'll have to trouble you to bring some people to the edge of the desolate forbidden area in a few days to wait for old man Wanshou. When the time comes, he won't have a life-bound spiritual beast. It'll let him see what it looks like when all hope is shattered. It'll also let others see the consequences of going against our 10,000 Swords Peak. Uncle Qin had never asked for the reason for the words of the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak, so he was deeply trusted by him. After listening to the words of the Myriad Sword Peak's leader, Uncle Qin said to him directly, Don't worry, Master. I'll do it now. Wait, when you go to Phoenix Perch Peak, and tell Sister Feng that you can come for dual cultivation. Uncle Qin did not hesitate and respectfully said, Understood. At the same time, outside the desolate forbidden area, Xiao Changtian was carrying a bamboo basket on his back, humming a song. Following the familiar path, Xiao Changtian slowly came to the front of the courtyard. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, there was a commotion in the surrounding grass. Could it be that some wild beasts were trying to break into his room when he was leaving? Thinking of this, Xiao Changtian hurried into the courtyard. After inspecting all the animals in the house, he found that there were no losses. Only then did he slowly heave a sigh of relief in his heart. Fortunately, he did not suffer any losses. However, he still had to find a ferocious beast at home. It would be too late to make up for it by then. With that thought in mind, Xiao Changtian slowly opened the system interface in his mind. Xiao Changtian looked around the shop and found a beast that suited his taste. Brother Black Bear, you can buy it with a few spiritual crystals. Black bears have a deterrent effect on other wild beasts in the forest. The other wild beasts are completely convinced by him. Seeing the system's introduction, Xiao Changtian was very satisfied with the Black Bear brothers. However, these spiritual crystals were really expensive. That was 100,000 gold coins. Thinking of this, Xiao Changtian felt a little tired. The rustling of the grass outside did not stop either. At this moment, the system's voice slowly sounded in Xiao Changshan's mind. Ding dong. A mission has been issued to the host. The existence of a Pai Xiu has been detected in the surroundings. The host is requested to subdue it. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 763. Follow me and swallow him, one desolate forbidden area. Xiao Changtian was sitting in the courtyard. When he heard the system's voice, he was a little happy. On the system interface, there was a mission to subdue the Pai Xiu. Pai Xiu, if he remembered correctly, that was a divine beast that could bring fortune. He didn't expect to encounter them in this forest, where birds didn't even shit. Of course, the most important thing was the reward written at the end of the mission. After completing the task, he could actually get 10 spiritual crystal points. According to the conversion of gold coins, That was 1,000,000 gold coins. Thinking about how he would become a millionaire, Xiao Changtian was very excited. Then, he heard rustling sounds coming from outside. Could it be that the Pai Xiu was in the grass? Xiao Changtian thought so. But he didn't act rashly. First, he took out a few gold coins from his spatial ring. Pai Xiu actually fed on gold coins. Rather than looking for him himself, it was better to wait for him to come. However, he could not put too many gold coins on him. If Pai Xiu were to cling on to him and eat it up, wouldn't he have worked for nothing today? Thinking of this, Xiao Changtian returned to his room and hid a bag of gold coins under his bed. Xiao Changtian slowly walked out after he finished all of this. At the same time, in the sky above the forest outside Changshan's courtyard, in the air, an eagle with fiery red feathers was soaring. Beside him were several other eagles. However, compared to him, it was much more ordinary. In the air, the flaming eagle said to the eagles beside him, "Pixiu should be in this area. How's the matter I asked you to do? Lord Flame, we have driven away all the demonic beasts in this area. Even if there are some remnants, the demon wolf brothers are still investigating." Upon hearing the flaming eagle's words, an eagle immediately responded slowly to him. Hearing the eagle's response, the flaming eagle nodded in satisfaction. As long as no one in this area comes to disturb us, as long as anyone dares to trespass into our territory, we will kill them without mercy. Hearing the flaming eagle's words, the eagle beside him also expressed his agreement. Lord Blazing Flame, don't worry. No matter what kind of demonic beast it is, it's impossible for it to appear here. The Blazing Eagle was the lord of the desolate forbidden area. Originally, a lord like the Blazing Eagle had reached the peak of the sacred sovereign realm and was a half step into the sacred sovereign realm. Usually, they would not come out easily. However, after knowing that the group of flaming lions under him had been destroyed, he was shocked. He also came out of seclusion to investigate, although he did not find out the reason why the flaming lions were destroyed. However, he discovered the existence of the ancient divine beast Pai Xiu. This made him very happy. If he could devour the Pai Xiu's snow bloodline, he would be able to successfully break through the sage sect and enter the depths of the desolate forbidden land. The flaming eagle flew in the air, its eagle eyes looking down at the sky, looking for its prey. At the same time, Xiao Changtian slowly left his courtyard. He came to an empty space outside the courtyard and used a shovel to make a small hole, putting a few gold coins inside. Then he set up some more mechanisms in the surroundings. This way, he would just wait for the Pai Xiu to take the bait. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, a sound came from the grass in front of Xiao Changtian. Could it be that he came so quickly? Xiao Changtian quickly dodged to the side and looked at the bushes. Then, Xiao Changtian saw two tall figures walking out from the bushes. Wow, why are there two wolves? Xiao Changtian frowned when he saw the two wolves walking out from the bushes. The Pai Xiu did not come, but the wolf did. No, he could not let these two wolves ruin his plan. At this moment, the demon wolf brothers also saw Xiao Changshan's courtyard. Why is there a human courtyard here? Could it be that someone is moving here? Brother Demon Wolf looked at the yard, his eyes full of confusion. Lord Flame wants us to chase away all the living beings in this area. There's a human here. Why don't I eat him? At this moment, the little brother Demon Wolf also said slowly to the big brother Demon Wolf, "Brother, I think it's reliable." As they spoke, the two demon wolves stuck out their tongues and licked their lips. Xiao Changtian was looking for a broadsword in his bamboo basket when he saw two demonic wolves walking towards his courtyard. Wow, why was he so fast? Could it be that he had taken a fancy to the food in his courtyard? Thinking of this, Xiao Changtian hurried towards the courtyard. The two demonic wolves pushed open the door of Xiao Changshan's courtyard and saw a white kitten. Where did this kitten come from? At this point, the demon wolf brother also wanted to attack the white kitten. Roar! Just as the little brother opened his mouth, an angry roar sounded in his ears. He was so scared that he quickly shut his mouth and looked around in panic. Ooh, who is it? Didn't you want to eat me? At this moment, the white tiger's figure slowly appeared in the field of vision of the two demon wolves. Bye, White Tiger. Brother Demon Wolf looked at the white tiger in front of them, and his limbs went weak. They should have just understood that there was no possibility of humans living in this desolate forbidden land. It was obvious that Senior White Tiger was living in seclusion here. Thinking of this, the two demon wolves hurriedly knelt down in front of the white tiger. Senior White Tiger, we didn't know this was your courtyard and accidentally came in. Please forgive me if I disturbed you. At this moment, the two demon wolves were kneeling on the ground, their bodies trembling. At this moment, White Tiger also said to them, "I'll let you off. Let's see what Master says. You two wolves actually want to eat my cat." Before the two demon wolves could react, they heard an angry voice. Then, a large saber was reflected in their pupils. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Blood splattered in the air. Xiao Changtian had also killed the two demon wolves. This demon wolf wanted to eat his kitten. It was really too despicable. The cat is so cute, how can you eat him? At this moment, in the sky above Xiao Changshan's courtyard, an eagle beside the flaming eagle said to him, "Lord Flame, something might have happened. Brother Demon Wolf's life tablet is broken." Hearing the eagle's words, the flaming eagle's face was filled with anger. He knew that there were still people here who dared to attack his subordinates. Did he not want to live anymore? Come, follow me to devour him. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 764. Earning without losing one desolate forbidden area. After hearing the report of the eagles around him, the flaming eagle came to the sky above Xiao Changshan's courtyard aggressively. Lord Flame, Brother Yao Lang's aura disappeared here. An eagle pointed at the forest below, and said slowly to the flaming eagle. The blazing eagle looked down and saw Xiao Changshan's courtyard. Seeing this courtyard, the blazing eagle frowned. Why is there a human courtyard here? The desolate forbidden area was known as the forbidden area for humans. How could there be a human's residence? Then, the blazing eagle's gaze was sharp as it spat a mouthful of flames at the courtyard below. Bang! The flame streaked across the sky and instantly arrived above Xiao Changshan's courtyard. At the same time, Xiao Changtian, who was in front of the demon wolf brothers' corpses, also felt a little hot. Why is the weather so hot? Xiao Changtian grumbled as he wiped the sweat off his forehead. In the courtyard, the white tiger heard Xiao Changshan's words and stared at the flames in the sky. Then he raised his claws and destroyed the flaming eagle with one palm. Bang! The blazing eagle watched as its flames exploded below. The flames dissipated, revealing the courtyard below. Lord Flame, look, why is this courtyard still here? An eagle said to the flaming eagle beside him in surprise when he saw that the courtyard below was unharmed. Looks like there's a peerless expert living in this courtyard. However, if he thinks that he can do whatever he wants in my territory just because he has some strength, then he is gravely mistaken. Come, follow me down and let that human see what strength is. As soon as he finished speaking, the flaming eagle took the lead and charged down. The few eagles behind him did not hesitate either. They turned into a few streaks of light and flew down. At this moment, Xiao Changtian was dealing with the corpses of the demon wolf brothers. He exhaled slowly. These two wolves should be able to sell for a good price tomorrow. Xiao Changtian heard a wave of chattering as he spoke. Xiao Changtian looked up and smiled. My luck is really good today. I haven't gone hunting yet. This prey even delivered itself to our doorstep. This is an eagle, right? You haven't eaten it yet, so it should be able to sell for a good price. Thinking of this, Xiao Changtian took out a longbow from his interspatial ring. In the air, an eagle saw Xiao Changshan's action and said to the flaming eagle, Lord Flame, be careful. Humph. It was just a mediocre longbow, so there was no need to fear it. Watch how I devour him. The flaming eagle looked at the longbow in Xiao Changshan's hand disdainfully. He let out a long howl and opened his mouth to Xiao Changtian. A wisp of flame appeared in his mouth. Hit! Xiao Changtian pulled the bow and arrow, aiming at the flaming eagle in the air. He released the bowstring. Whoosh! The long arrow streaked across the sky and attacked the blazing eagle. When the eagle saw the incoming arrow, it said to the flaming eagle, "Lord Flame, let me block this human attack. You go and devour him." Not bad. After this human swallows it, it'll give you a promotion when we go back." Looking at the eagle beside him, the flaming eagle was also very satisfied. Then, he drew an arc in the air and dodged Xiao Changshan's arrow. Hearing the flaming eagle's words, the eagles were delighted and scrambled to block the arrow. Just blocking an ordinary arrow would earn him a good impression. Who wouldn't want to do such a profitable thing? However, as the arrow closed in, Old Eagle and the others began to build a defensive energy wall in front of them. However, it was useless against Xiao Changshan's arrow. Wow, what's going on? This arrow seems a little unusual. Seeing that the first energy defense wall was broken, an eagle also realized that something was wrong. What's there to worry about? This arrow will at most pass through an energy wall. At this moment, the other eagle said disdainfully, "No, he has already penetrated our last energy wall." What was that? Hearing this voice, all the eagles were stunned. Then, the arrow pierced through their bodies in front of their terrified eyes. At this moment, the flaming eagle also arrived in front of Xiao Changtian. "Human, become my food." Xiao Changtian frowned when he saw the flaming eagle dodge his arrow. His archery skills seemed to have regressed. According to his plan, he should have killed them with one arrow. The flaming eagle arrived in front of Xiao Changtian, and the white tiger's pressure descended on him. What's going on? Why is there such a huge pressure? The flaming eagle was about to swallow him, but it suddenly felt as if a few mountains were pressing down on it. With a swoosh, he landed in front of Xiao Changtian. At this moment, the white tiger also walked past him. With a stomp, its cultivation instantly disappeared. Aha! What breed was this? The flaming eagle looked at the white tiger that walked past it and screamed in its heart. He had actually been stepped on by a cat. His reputation as a member of the world was ruined. At this moment, Xiao Changtian also lifted the flaming eagle in the air. Fortunately, this eagle is stupid enough to fly until it falls. This is the first time I've seen red feathers. Could it be because of a genetic mutation? Seeing the flaming eagle in his hand, Xiao Changtian thought about it and nodded. It was probably a low-quality eagle. Otherwise, why would it fall? However, with the selling point of the red feather, he should be able to earn some money. When the flaming eagle heard Xiao Changshan's words, it felt dizzy and blood flowed out of its mouth. He died. The Lord of the Desolation Forbidden Ground was angered to death by Xiao Changtian. Xiao Changtian sighed when he saw the fresh blood on the flaming eagle. Looks like it's really a low-quality eagle. If it doesn't mutate well, it won't live long. As he said that, Xiao Changtian heard a commotion in his room. Who entered my room? With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian also threw the flaming eagle and a few eagles to the demonic wolf. Then, he took out his long sword from his interspatial ring. In this mountain forest, he had made all kinds of measures to prevent wild beasts from entering. If there was really something missing, it was that there was no anti-thief system. He did not expect to encounter a thief so quickly. Soon Xiao Changtian came to his room. He held the door handle and slowly pushed the door open. Wow! Seeing the situation in his room, Xiao Changtian shouted, "If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible." Chapter 765. Competition 1. Desolate Forbidden Land, Xiao Changshan's courtyard. Xiao Changtian slowly opened the door of his room and looked at the scene inside. At this moment in his room, a petite Paixio was biting a gold coin. On his bed, the pillow had been thrown onto the floor. The money bag that contained the gold coins had already been torn to pieces. "I'm going to kill you." At this moment, Xiao Changtian also rushed towards the Paixio in the room. Paixio seemed to have sensed something and saw Xiao Changtian rushing towards him. She also smiled at him. In a few flashes she arrived on his shoulder. "Fuck, how many gold coins have you eaten? Spit it out." Xiao Changtian looked at the Paixio on his shoulder and said fiercely. At this moment, the system's voice slowly sounded in his mind. "Ding dong. It has been detected that the host has subdued the Paixio. The host will now be rewarded. 10 crystals have been transferred to your account. Please check. Hearing the system's voice, Xiao Changtian calmed down a little. 10 spiritual crystal points was equivalent to 1 million gold coins. From the looks of it, this little guy could be considered to have brought him fortune. However, when did he subdue him? The system seemed to know Xiao Changshan's doubts, so it explained to him. Host, Paixio is an innate divine beast. It will choose wealthy and noble people to follow it. Oh, I see. In that case, am a rich and noble person? Xiao Changtian muttered as he stroked the Paixio on his shoulder. Little fellow, you have good taste. Early the next morning, at the stall on Imperial Beast Peak. Before Xiao Changtian arrived, Luolan and the white beast had already arrived at the stall. He wanted to get everything done before Xiao Changtian arrived. At this moment, a shout also attracted their attention. Meat for sale, meat for sale. Fresh flaming lion meat. Don't miss it when you pass by. Flaming lion meat? Hearing this familiar name, the white beast and Lorraine were confused. This was not the first time they had lived in Starry Town. How could there be someone selling such high-grade demon beast meat in this small town? With this thought in mind, the white beast and Lorraine also went out to take a look. At this moment, the original medicinal pills and weapons on the stall on the Thousand Swords Peak had already been withdrawn. What replaced it was the same as them, all kinds of demon beast meat. At this moment, Go Xiongqin smiled at the white beast and Lorraine. Io, isn't this senior brother white beast and senior sister Lorraine from the same sect? We have fresh flaming lion meat here. 3 gold coins for 1 caddy. Do you want to come? The white beast understood something when it saw Bearchin's sly smile. It turned out that this flaming lion meat was Wan Jianfeng's intention to ruin their business with the seniors. 10,000 Sword Peak you. The white beast wanted to attack Black Bearchin, but it was stopped by Lorraine. Go Xiongqin looked at the white beast and said provocatively, Senior brother Baisho, you don't look so good. Did you catch a cold recently? Do you want some flaming lion meat to drive away the cold? Ha ha ha. The white beast looked at Qin Guxiang's smug expression and was furious. 3 gold coins for a pound of flaming lion meat. Wan Jianfeng was definitely losing money. At this moment, Lorraine said to the white beast, Senior brother, you can't make a move at the stall. Moreover, with Senior's strength, what is this flaming lion meat? Hearing Lorraine's words, the white beast slowly calmed down. Junior sister, I was too impulsive. Indeed, with Senior's strength, a mere flaming lion meat is nothing. Senior might have brought something even better today. This flaming lion meat is nothing. However, if you don't want to buy it, don't disturb our business. At this moment, a domineering voice sounded in the ears of the white beast and Lorraine. Then, the white beast and Lorraine saw Qin Shou slowly walk out from the stall of the Thousand Swords Peak. When they saw Qin Shou, a hint of fear flashed in the eyes of the white beast and Lorraine. He did not expect that the young master of this 10,000 Swords Peak actually came to set up a stall here. Presumably, this flaming lion meat was also taken out by him. At this moment, a voice sounded in the air. White beast Lorraine, how did you get there? I just killed a lot of wild beasts yesterday. Hearing this voice, the white beast and Luo Lan were delighted. They turned around and saw Xiao Changtian already at the stall. Senior, you'll be right there. As soon as he finished speaking, the white beast and Lorraine also left the stall on Wanjian Peak. After they left, Go Xiongqin said to Qin Shou, Young master, what should we do next? Just now, Black Bearchin had provoked the white beast because of Qin Shou's instructions. In that case, when he reached the sect, Qin Shou would also have a reason to cripple him. Qin Shou glanced at his stall when he heard Go Xiongqin's words. After he took out the flaming lion meat, the original guests of the Imperial Beast Peak all ran over to his side. Then Qin Shou said to Go Xiongqin, Forget it, don't worry about them. As long as they don't make money, it's fine. Go Xiongqin nodded at him. In the stall of the Imperial Beast Peak, Xiao Changtian slowly took out the demon wolf brothers from his interspatial ring. White beast, deal with this head wolf and sell it today. Seeing the demonic wolf in Xiao Changshan's hand, the white beast and Luo Lan were delighted. As expected, Senior would never disappoint them. This brilliant sun demonic wolf was a demonic beast of the same level as the flaming lion. In this way, they also had the strength to compete with the 10,000 Swords Peak. Thinking of how despicable Bear Qin was just now, the white beast quickly dealt with the brilliant sun demonic wolf. Then he shouted at the people on the street, "The flesh of the sun-shining demonic wolf is freshly baked in our shop. It costs 3 gold coins per 500 grams. Don't miss it when you pass by." Following the white beast's shout, the surrounding people's attention was also attracted by him. It really is the brilliant sun demonic wolf. I didn't expect to be able to eat this kind of demonic beast in my lifetime. Let's go and take a look. Originally, I thought that the demonic beast meat that helped people break through was just a temporary thing. I didn't expect that there would be another one today. In an instant, the customers who originally wanted to go to the 10,000 Swords Peak stall also came to the Imperial Beast Peak stall. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 766. Do you want a bowl? 1 Starlight Town, 10,000 Swords Peak stall. As more and more people headed to the Imperial Beast Peak, Go Xiongqin also quickly found Qin Shou. "Young master, it's not good. I don't know what's going on at the Imperial Beast Peak, but there's more traffic again." Qin Shou was enjoying himself in the lounge of the stall. When he heard Qin Guxiang's words, his face darkened. "What did you say?" As he said that, Qin Shou hurriedly walked out. Seeing the long queue in front of the beast-taming peak stall, his expression darkened even more. "It's actually the brilliant sun demon wolf. I didn't expect the Imperial Beast Peak to actually have a trump card." Seeing Qin Shou's gloomy face, Go Xiongqin felt like he was treading on thin ice. "Young master, what should we do now? Why don't I bring a few people over to cause trouble?" "Trash, what are you trying to do? Aren't you trying to make my 10,000 Swords Peak look bad?" Qin Shou looked at Go Xiongqin and cursed. For a moment, Go Xiongqin quickly shut his mouth and stood aside, not daring to speak. "Imperial Beast Peak, since you want to compete in heritage, then come on." As soon as he finished speaking, Qin Shou said to Qin Goxiong, "Black Bear, go to the streets and shout that we're opening a shop today. All expenses are free." "Ah!" When Go Xiongqin heard Qin Shou's words, he obviously didn't react for a moment. The flaming lion meat was a rare treasure for every cultivator. Originally, 3 gold coins was already a huge loss. Now this young master actually wanted to send them out. "What? Hurry up and do it. Otherwise they'll slap you." When Qin Shou spoke, he also raised his palm, scaring Go Xiongqin into hurriedly walking to the street. Big sale, big sale. Today's expenses are all on the house." Go Xiongqin's voice echoed on the street, but he couldn't describe the feeling in his heart. In the past, it was always others who bribed him. Now he wanted to give someone something. Although the townspeople on the street didn't really believe Go Xiongqin's words, they still had the mentality of giving it a try. He still went to the stall at the 1,000 Swords Peak. As time passed, the 10,000 Swords Peak once again occupied the entire market. After all, for these townspeople, why would they spend money if they could do it for free? At the stall on the Imperial Beast Peak, the white beast saw that Go Xiongqin was actually using these tricks. His face was also very angry. Then he said to Xiao Changtian beside him, "Senior, if they're like this, I'll go and reason with them." "Wait, I'll go with you." Xiao Changtian stopped the white beast when he saw it. Then, the two of them arrived in front of the stall of the 1,000 Swords Peak. When Go Xiongqin saw them, he didn't forget to give them a provocative look. Just as the white beast was about to say something, Xiao Changtian stopped it. "White beast, since they're treating us to a meal for free, why shouldn't we?" While speaking, Xiao Changtian also said to Go Xiongqin, "Shopkeeper, since your lion meat is free, why don't you give us a plate each?" Seeing Xiao Changshan's actions, the white beast was also confused. However, he still followed Xiao Changtian to the stall of the 10,000 Swords Peak. Go Xiongqin was also furious when he saw their actions. Then he looked at Qin Shou. "Let them eat." Qin Shou said lightly to Go Xiongqin. His goal was to prevent the Imperial Beast Peak from making money. As for the rest, they were not that important. After hearing Qin Shou's words, Go Xiongqin gestured to the disciples of the Thousand Swords Peak. Very quickly, Xiao Changshan's white beast finished the meat of the flaming lion that the 10,000 Swords Peak disciples had sent over. Although it's not as delicious as my own cooking, it's still considered passable. Xiao Changtian was still holding a lion thigh in his hand as he muttered. The white beast didn't eat it. It wasn't in the mood to be bullied. At this moment, Xiao Changtian stood up and said to the people around him, "This meal is really delicious. Thank you for your hospitality, young Master Qin. Everyone, don't be anxious. Eat slowly. Today's expenses will be paid by young Master Qin." When Go Xiongqin heard Xiao Changshan's words, his anger rose and he said to Qin Shou, "Young lord, I'll go and kill this kid." "Sai, let him be." Qin Shou stopped Go Xiongqin with a smile on his face. In his eyes, Xiao Changtian was trying to anger them. Unfortunately, if he didn't fall for it, they wouldn't be able to earn money. The corners of Qin Shou's mouth curled into a smile when he thought of this. At this moment, Xiao Changshan's voice was heard again. "Everyone, although this lion meat is delicious, it's easy to get angry. I just caught an eagle yesterday. Red eagle stewed soup, dispel heat and fire. 1 gold coin is enough. If you want it, come." Xiao Changtian took out the flaming eagle from his interspatial ring. There were so many eagles, so he decided to stew the weakest one first. As soon as the flaming eagle appeared, everyone present could feel that he was extraordinary. This body carried a thick fire element aura. This was definitely a great supplement for those who cultivated fire-type cultivation techniques. The energy emitted from his body was several times more powerful than that of the flaming lion. At this moment, everyone at the 10,000 Swords Peak stall revealed greedy expressions. The white beast didn't expect Xiao Changtian to do this. At this moment it was also delighted. Then, he followed Xiao Changtian back to their stall. Luolan, who had stayed at the stall on Imperial Beast Peak, had already prepared everything. When she saw Xiao Changtian, she said to him, "Senior, let's begin." Then, under Xiao Changshan's cooking skills, the aroma of the flaming eagle soup also spread in the street. It attracted the people from the 10,000 Swords Peak stall to the Imperial Beast Peak stall. Even if the blazing eagle was dead, it was still a peak sacred sovereign when it was alive. This intense energy naturally attracted Qin Shou's attention. At this moment, Qin Shou's expression was also ice-cold as he looked at the stall of the Imperial Beast Peak. "Young master, what should we do with this beast-taming peak? The energy fluctuation emitted by that bird just now seems to be similar to the peak master." Qin Shou also stared at him when he heard what Go Xiongqin said. "Why? Are you tempted? Why don't you go over and buy a bowl to drink?" When Go Xiongqin saw the flaming eagle, he was also very eager for him. Now that he heard Qin Shou's words, he didn't have such thoughts. "Young master, it's fine. I'll always be on your side," Go Xiongqin said slowly to Qin Shou with a smile on his face. At the stall on the Imperial Beast Peak, the white beast looked at the oddly smiling Qin Goxiong and said to him, "Black Bear Qin, do you want a bowl?" Hearing the white beast's words, Qin Shou and Qin Guxiang's expressions changed. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 767, Bad Guy Good Guy 1 Starlight Town, 10,000 Swords Peak Stall. Qin Shou looked at the white beast. He waved his sleeve and walked towards the direction of the starry sky sect. When Go Xiongqin saw Qin Shou leave, he glared at the white beast. Then he quickly followed Qin Shou. As the two of them left, the white beast and Lorraine let out a soft laugh. Following that, more and more people started eating at the stalls on Imperial Beast Peak. Soon all the beasts Xiao Changtian had killed yesterday were sold out. Alright, that's all for today. Everyone come back tomorrow. The white beast was tidying up the stall as it spoke to the people in line. When those people heard the white beast's words, a trace of disappointment flashed across their faces. In the next few days, The business of the stalls on Imperial Beast Peak was unusually hot. It was even famous in the entire star town. Basically, everyone in the town knew about it. The demon beast meat sold at the stalls on Imperial Beast Peak could not only strengthen one's physique, but it could also help one's cultivation breakthrough. Even the disciples of the other main peaks in the Starry Sky sect came to the stalls of the Imperial Beast Peak to buy meat to eat. Within the planet, the attitude towards beast taming peak gradually softened. Xiao Changtian had been making a lot of money these few days. He only needed to walk around the forest a few times every day. Not only that, but these wild beasts were all trash. Not trash, but very stupid. He remembered that a few days ago, a python had taken the initiative to fall in front of him before he could even make a move. Those who didn't know better would think that he had drugged her. I didn't do anything. Of course, there was something even more ridiculous. A wild boar was about to smack him away. He did not expect that he would pee on the spot when he was almost in front of him. This made him speechless. Although Xiao Changtian felt that this situation was very strange at first. However, when he thought of the pai xiao he had just obtained a few days ago, Xiao Changtian felt that everything could be explained. After all, these wild beasts were the source of his wealth. Pixius' money-making skill was to encounter all kinds of immortals and wild beasts. After waiting for him in the first place, Xiao Changtian completely believed what he was thinking. Xiao Changtian couldn't help but sigh at this. After taking him in, he had indeed earned money quickly. However, this pai xiao was a little expensive. It didn't eat anything else and only stared at its own gold coins. At this moment, Xiao Changtian was also sitting on a rocking chair in his courtyard. He kept scanning the system store in his mind. With the booming business, Xiao Changtian was also wondering if he should expand his business. This way, the money would come faster, and he could go to the secret pavilion as soon as possible. After getting those spirit tree seeds, he could also meet up with the Great Sun Immortal and the others as soon as possible. Thinking of this, Xiao Changtian sighed. He had opened a bookstore on the Tianyuan continent. Now he came to this unknown world and visited the entire chain of restaurants. With this thought in mind, Xiao Changtian found a book called How to Raise Wild Beasts 11 in the system store. In the future, when he opened a chain store, he couldn't do everything himself. He could teach the white beast and the others some things. That way, they could complete them independently in the future. Then, Xiao Changtian reluctantly spent 1 crystal point to buy a book titled How to Raise Wild Beasts from the system store. He was investing now for a better return in the future. Xiao Changtian said to himself in his heart. Then he stood up and walked out. On the other side, after Qin Shou left the Myriad Swords Peak stall, he quickly returned to the Myriad Swords Peak. When they arrived at the Myriad Sword Peak, Uncle Qin blocked Qin Shou's path. Uncle Qin, please inform father that I have something urgent to discuss with him. Uncle Qin looked at Qin Shou in front of him and frowned. Young master, the Peak Master is doing something important right now. You should come back later. Uncle Qin, didn't father end his seclusion? Is there anything else? I have something urgent to report. You'd better not stop me. Seeing Qin Shou's anxious expression, Uncle Qin hesitated for a moment. Seizing this moment, Qin Shou also walked into the cave abode. When Uncle Qin reacted, he saw that Qin Shou had already entered the cave. She quickly reached out and shouted at him. Young master, you can't. However, after he finished speaking, Qin Shou's figure could no longer be seen. After Qin Shou entered the cave abode, he walked in as well. Then, he heard a series of sounds coming from inside. Wan Jian, you're so annoying. I didn't expect you to still be so powerful after so many years. Ha ha ha, I'm old but strong. Others can't learn it. Stop talking. Continue. Let me see how powerful you are now. When Qin Shou heard these words, he was one of the people most familiar with these matters. How could he not know what was going on inside? No wonder Uncle Qin didn't let him in. It turned out that his father was doing something important in his life. With this thought in mind, Qin Shou also wanted to walk out. However, the Peak Master of the Myriad Swords Peak strength had already reached the peak of the sacred sovereign realm, and it was even in his cave abode. How could he not notice Qin Shou's footsteps? The Peak Master of 10,000 Swords, who was in the middle of an intense battle, also said to the outside at this time, Who is there? When the woman under the Peak Master of the 10,000 Swords Peak heard his words, she was also shocked. Towards the strength of the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak, she was still very convinced. At this time, he also pulled it out from the 10,000 Swords Peak Master's body and prepared to deal with the changes. Soon after, Qin Shou slowly walked out from the side. Seeing the two disheveled people, she said to him in embarrassment, Father Feng, I was too rash. It's Shou'er. What are you doing here? No matter who it was, they would not be in a good mood after being interrupted. Even though Qin Shou was his son, the Peak Master of the 10,000 Swords Peak still said to him in a bad mood at this moment. Beside the 10,000 Swords Peak's Peak Master, the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master let out a burst of giggles. So it's Qin Shou. I heard from Bai Tong that you're as powerful as your father. Upon hearing the words of the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master, Qin Shou did not know how to reply, and could only smile at her. At this moment, Uncle Qin also came to the cave abode. Seeing the situation inside, he hurriedly said to the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak, Peak Master, this old servant is guilty for not being able to stop young master. When the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords heard Uncle Qin's words, he also waved his hand at him. Then he slowly said to Qin Shou, Shou'er, why are you in such a hurry? If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 768. 10,000 Sword Strategy, 103 Starry Sky Sect, 1,000 Swords Peak. When Qin Shou heard the words of the Myriad Swords Peak's Peak Master, he also told him about the noodle stall in Xingqian Town. A bird with red feathers? After listening to Qin Shou's narration, the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master was the first to react. Could it be the legendary lord of the desolate forbidden land, the Flaming Eagle? 5. The Myriad Swords Peak's Peak Master frowned when he heard Phoenix Perch Peak's words. Blazing Flame Eagle. Isn't that the strength of a peak sacred sovereign? With the strength of the Imperial Beast Peak, how can it kill such a demonic beast? Uncle Qin also said in surprise, Indeed, I followed the Peak Master's instructions, and didn't discover that the Peak Master of the Imperial Beast Peak had gone to the desolate forbidden land. It shouldn't be the blazing eagle in the desolate forbidden area. At this moment, Qin Shou said to everyone again, Father, I also noticed a strange phenomenon. The white beast seemed to be very respectful to a young man. I think I called him senior, but I carefully examined him and found no aura on him. It's really strange to be called senior without any aura. The Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak looked at the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak beside him, and said to him, No, Shou'er, you must have sensed wrongly. I know the temperament of that old man Wan Shou. He will not casually ask for help from others. To be able to make him feel at ease, and let his disciple be his assistant, that person should be a peerless expert. And you didn't see his aura because you weren't strong enough. Hearing the words of the 10,000 Swords Peak's Peak Master, Qin Shou was also shocked in his heart. Father, does this mean that there's an expert helping the Imperial Beast Peak? When the Phoenix Peak Master heard Qin Shou's words, he also became nervous. In order to fight for the position of the main peak this time, their Phoenix Perch Peak had paid a lot. Now that such a situation had occurred, what should he do? Wan Jian, you have to think of a way. Following that, the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master also pulled the Myriad Swords Peak's Peak Master's arm, and said in a delicate voice, A woman who had lived for an unknown period of time, in front of an old man, she was acting coquettishly in front of him. For a time, it became the beautiful scenery in the cave. When the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak heard the words of the Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak, he also patted her palm. Don't worry, Fenger. With the resources of the Imperial Beast Peak, we can hire any expert. Even if there is, can't my 10,000 Swords Peak invite them? Our 10,000 Swords Peak strategy has always been to fight. Upon hearing the words of the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak, The Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak revealed a faint smile at this moment. I knew you would have a way, Wan Jian. Following that, the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak said to Uncle Qin, Uncle Qin, how much information do you have on that person? Uncle Qin had more or less investigated the people from the Imperial Beast Peak. I don't know him very well. I only know that after he left the stall on Imperial Beast Peak, he was still alive. We entered the desolate forbidden area. At first, I thought that he was a disciple sent by the Imperial Beast Peak, but there was no aura on his body. I didn't really care. Hearing Uncle Qin's description, the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak fell into deep thought. Desolate forbidden area. It seems that our previous guess was wrong. The target of the Imperial Beast Peak is not the Paishio. It's this expert. The purpose of making money is to please this expert. After all, we are in the deep mountains and forests. Hearing the words of the 10,000 Swords Peak's Peak Master, everyone also had a look of realization. Even the Paishio could be the pet of that good person. That person was just looking for food for his pet. After listening to the analysis of the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak, Uncle Qin said to him, Peak Master, if that's the case, then this person's strength is probably at the level of a sage sect, or even a saint ruler. Yes. At this moment, the Master of the 10,000 Swords Peak nodded at the others. His eyes even revealed some fear towards Xiaochang Tian. However, right now he and the Imperial Beast Peak are only in a cooperative relationship. The Imperial Beast Peak has yet to receive his full support. We can totally recruit him to our side. Hearing the words of the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak, everyone's eyes lit up at this time. Father, what do you think we should do? You can't do this. Hearing Qin Shou's words, the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak shook his head. Then he turned to the Phoenix Nest Peak Master and said, Feng'er, I remember that the number one beauty of the Starry Sky sect is with you, right? Hearing the words of the Peak Master of 10,000 Sword Peak, the Peak Master of Phoenix Perch Peak was stunned for a moment, and then he understood. Wan Jian, you mean, however, did that person think that Linger was the best? With his strength, he can have any woman he wants. Although Ling-Er was the number one beauty in the Starry Sky sect, she was born with a physique that was difficult to cultivate. His current strength was also at the bottom of Phoenix Perch Peak, and he was a saint. When the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak heard the words of the Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak, he shook his head. You're right, but I've been living in a desolate place like the desolate forbidden land. Even if he wants it, someone has to give it to him, right? After all, as long as it's a human being, they have biological needs. Moreover, at his level, strength is nothing. Upon hearing the words of the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak, the Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak slowly said to him, I understand. Leave everything to me. They wanted a sage sect, or even a saint king, to support their Phoenix Perch Peak in the future. Now, the Peak Master of Phoenix Perch Peak was so excited that he didn't even have any interest in looking at the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak. After all, if she had the support of that person, she might not even care about the Starry Sky sect. The sect leader of the Starry Sky sect was only a sage sect. Thinking up to this point, the Phoenix Nest Peak Master also said to the people in the cave abode, Then I'll go back and make arrangements first. As you know, Ling-Er is the youngest disciple of my Phoenix Perch Peak. She's too naive. I still have to teach her well. Upon hearing the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master's words, the 10,000 Swords Peak's Peak Master nodded at him. After he left, Uncle Qin and Qin Shou also left one after another. At the same time, on top of the Phoenix Peak, a beautiful girl was sitting on a rock at the top of the mountain. Below her, a waterfall flowed slowly. The beautiful girl's long hair reached her waist. She rested her chin on her hand and looked at the lake at the foot of the mountain. Her big round eyes were thinking about something. At this moment, a figure slowly landed on the top of the mountain. Junior sister Ling-Er, Master is looking for you. Hearing this voice, Feng Ling-Er's eyes lit up, and she stood up from her seat. After entering Phoenix Perch Peak for so long, was Master finally going to see him? With this thought in mind, Feng Ling-Er's figure turned into a stream of light and flew towards a cave abode. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know. Report so we can fix it as soon as possible. Chapter 769. The Guidance of the Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak. L. Stellar Sect Phoenix Peak. Feng Linger quickly arrived at the cave abode, where the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master was. Different from the cave abode of the Peak Master of 10,000 Swords Peak, the cave abode of the Peak Master of Phoenix Perch Peak had many decorations. When she saw the Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak, Feng Linger said to her slowly, "Ling Er greets the Peak Master." Seeing Feng Linger kneeling on the ground, the Phoenix Nest Peak Master nodded at her. "Linger, you're here. I know you've always wanted to see me. You were busy a while ago." Feng Linger was also delighted when she heard the words of the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master. He hurriedly knelt down once again before the Phoenix Nest Peak Master. "Thank you, Peak Master. You know that Ling Er's talent is poor, and it has been difficult for her to advance in cultivation. Ling Er has a blood feud with you. Please give me some advice." Hearing Feng Ling Er's words, the Phoenix Nest Peak Master also sighed. "Ling Er, I know about your matter." Ling Er was brought back by an elder of Phoenix Perch Peak when he was out on a parade. He actually said that Ling Er's village had been completely massacred by the demons. If Ling Er was lucky, an elder of the Phoenix Peak would pass by and discover her. Feng Ling Er had probably also become a dead soul under the palms of those devils. At this moment, the Phoenix Nest Peak Master continued to speak to Feng Ling Er. "It's not that there's no way for you to increase your cultivation, but it depends on whether you're willing or not." Speaking up to this point, the Phoenix Perch Peak's Peak Master also revealed a trace of a troubled expression. At this time, Feng Linger also said to her firmly, "Peak Master, I'm willing to do anything." The Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak had expected Feng Linger to answer like this. At this time he also said to Feng Linger, "Ling Er, you're still a virgin, right?" Feng Ling Er's face reddened when she heard the Phoenix Perch Peak's Peak Master's words. However, she still replied, "Peak Master, Linger is still inexperienced." Yes. The Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak nodded and walked to Feng Ling Er's side. "Now, I know that a Supreme Being expert might have a cultivation base that's even stronger than our sect master. It's just that he needs women now. If you're willing to give yourself to him, that person might be able to help you." The faint voice of the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master sounded in Feng Ling Er's ears. After Feng Linger heard her words, her body trembled. "Peak Master, as long as that person is willing to help me take revenge, I am willing to serve him." Without much hesitation, the scene of the demons massacring her village appeared in Feng Ling Er's mind. He did not put down the struggle in his heart, and slowly said to the Phoenix Nest Peak Master, "Sigh, since that's the choice, I can't say anything. Actually, it would be a good thing for you if you could serve such a person." When he said this, the eyes of the Phoenix Peak's Peak Master were filled with envy. If he was a few hundred years younger, he might have personally taken action. How could this little girl have the chance? Hearing the words of the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master, Feng Linger immediately said to him, "You'll have to trouble Peak Master to bring me to see that senior." "Linger, don't be anxious. You've lived in our Phoenix Perch Peak all year round, so there are many things you don't know. Come to me these few days to learn. After all, if you don't know your limits, that senior won't pay attention to you." At this moment, the Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak waved his hand at Feng Linger and said slowly to her. Feng Linger nodded at Feng Chi Peak's Peak Master. "First of all, an expert like that senior has seen all kinds of women, so our first step is to take the initiative. If you don't take the initiative, you'll have nothing, understand?" At this moment, the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master also imparted his many years of experience to Feng Linger. At first, Feng Linger could still accept it, but later on, it was probably because she was shy. Feng Linger's face was also red, looking extremely cute. The posture is especially important. I don't know how many times I've experienced it, so only by playing it well can I capture his heart. Do you understand? After a while, the Peak Master of Phoenix Peak also picked up the teacup on the table. He took a sip and said slowly to Feng Ling. Peak Master, I know almost everything. The Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master had dealt a lot of damage at once, but Feng Ling still tried her best to remember them. That's good. Go back and study hard. The Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak looked at Feng Ling. As he spoke, he took out a jade stone from his interspatial ring. This is the Profound Shadow Stone. It records the things I gave you. Go back and watch it alone in your own room. Feng Ling took it from the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master and nodded at her. He didn't expect that the Peak Master would actually record these things. Seeing Feng Ling's bashful look, the Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak also said to her, Ling, everyone has their first time. During this period of time, I will move all the disciples in your area away. You have to think about it yourself. Whether you can do it or not, it's up to you. Feng Ling also expressed her gratitude to the Phoenix Nest Peak's Peak Master. Thank you, Peak Master. Then Ling will go back and practice. Go ahead. Looking at Feng Ling the Phoenix Perch Peak's Peak Master's gaze was also burning. This little girl was even more beautiful than when she was young. Coupled with the things he had given her, he did not believe that the senior would not be tempted. The more he thought about it, the more the Phoenix Nest Peak Master felt that this matter was in the bag. Thinking of this, the Phoenix Nest Peak Master waved his hand to the surroundings. An old woman appeared in front of her. Peak Master. Sister Feng, pass on my order. When Ling returns from her travels, make her the saintess. The old woman nodded at the Peak Master of Phoenix Nest Peak. All right, Peak Master. On the other side, the White Beast and Lorraine rushed to the desolate Forbidden Land after cleaning up the Beast Tamer Peak. This was also what Xiao Changtian had ordered them to do. These few days, Xiao Changtian had discussed the idea of opening a chain store with them. Naturally, they agreed. He was even more excited. When the White Beast and Lorraine finished cleaning up, they immediately went to the desolate Forbidden Land. After the previous incident, they no longer had much fear of the desolation Forbidden Lands. Following Xiao Changshan's instructions, they soon arrived outside Xiao Changshan's courtyard. After Xiao Changtian returned to the courtyard, he also cleaned up. When he saw the White Beast and Lorraine, he said to them, White Beast, Lorraine, you're here. Dinner's ready. If you find any errors, ads pop up, ads redirect, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know report so we can fix it as soon as possible. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.